What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Blazers Uprise Live. This is our last stream in August, I think. We might have one into August. We're going to take next week off, so this will be our last stream for about a week and a half. So we're going to go a little bit longer today. Sorry we're going live a little bit later than normal. Your guy played in 3 rec league games today, and the last one went into double OT, so pretty sore, pretty exhausted right now. Got refreshed with some Bolt 24, got to support Dame. Dame dropped his album tonight, so got to support Dame there. Have not listened to it yet. I listened to the Lil Wayne song. We can talk about that, but this is going to be a stream for you guys. We're going to talk about some plans for next year. We're going to take questions, and that's basically going to be the gist of this stream. We're going to talk about the channel. We're going to talk about some of our plans. For those of you tuning in at 10 p.m., at least our time, on a Thursday night, you get some insight into some of the things that we're planning as a reward. Eric, how was your Thursday?
It was pretty good, actually. And for the record, I hope we do have to come on stream next week because that would mean something big happened.
Yeah,
but
I mean, if we
we have one scheduled though.
Yep. If something big happens, then absolutely. But otherwise, next week we're gonna take off, and then we're gonna hit the ground running in September. That is the plan so far. I'll talk about some of the videos that I'm thinking about dropping. It's a couple different series that I'm thinking about doing for September that I have planned. So what's going on, chat? Let me know how your guys' days were. It was pretty nice outside. Weather was enjoyable today. It was a pretty good day, man. Yeah. What do you want to talk about first? We're completely winging this, and normally when we wing things, we have like a couple NBA topics that we want to talk about. Is there any NBA stuff that you want to talk about, Eric? I'll kind of give you the floor here. Maybe Hamidou Diallo or the thing I tweeted about 15 minutes ago or any of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, let's get to that at the end after the other stuff. But
okay.
The Diallo signing was a pretty good market value. I'm not quite as high on him as you are, but contract-wise, it was a good contract for him.
Mm-hmm. That's a guy I signed in my mock offseason for the Blazers. I traded CJ for Siakam. I traded Derrick Jones Jr. for Naz Reid, and then I signed Hamidou Diallo. So my starters were Dame Powell. I overpaid Powell compared to what Olshey did. I paid him like $22 million a year, $23 million a year, something like that on a 4-year deal. But Dame, Powell, Rocco, Siakam, Nurkic. And then the bench was Simons, Diallo, Nas, and Naz Reid. I had 2 Nazes, so that was my mock-off season. I thought he would get more in real life, because I gave Hamidou Diallo $5 million a year for 3 years. I thought he would get about $7 to $8 million at least, and I would have thought that was a little bit of a steal if he got $7 to $8 million. I think, given the jump he took in production last year, he's a $10 million guy that Detroit is getting on a 50% discount. So good signing for him.
Yeah, like I said, not bad. I think I don't know how he kind of fits in with everything going there, but he is young enough to fit with that core. So absolutely good contract for both sides, I think.
Yep.
And then the other contract was Terry Rozier signed a 4-year, $97 million extension. So nearly $25 million a year for
$25 million a year for Scary Terry. I barely remembered this, but I used to be a Terry Rozier hater. Do you remember that?
You absolutely hated him, yeah.
But he's gotten better, okay? Mm-hmm. But he's not gotten so much better that he's worth $25 million a year. Let's just be honest. He is, in my opinion, an average to below average starting NBA point guard.
If he plays like he played last year, he's above that.
Do you think he's a top 15 starting point guard?
I don't know.
There's so many good point guards, so that's the thing. There's a ton of great point guards.
Average, yeah, but
average to below average. Yeah.
The thing with me is, I wouldn't have paid him based off one season, because what if that's kind of an outlier season? His shooting splits were better than they had ever been, especially I think his 3-point percentage took a huge uptick last year.
Well, I have the stats right here. Yep. He was 2 seasons ago, he actually shot 40.7% his first season in Charlotte, and then last year shot 38.9%. What took the jump, Eric, was his 2-point percentage In 2019-2020, he set a career high shooting 43.6% from 2. Last season, he shot 51.2%.
Yeah. So I probably would have waited. You could have signed him to that extension most likely at any point.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have waited to see if it was a kind of a fluke year, or not necessarily a fluke, but if that was, he's just had a hot shooting season. Because if those numbers come back down to more of his career average, and then you combine that with the fact that you have LaMelo Ball and James Bouknight, who you just drafted in the last 2 drafts, I don't understand paying him that much money right now, but yeah.
Yeah, especially on an extension. Like, just let him prove it this year. Here's always been my problem with Terry Rozier. Here's why I haven't liked him. He is 6'1", so he's a point guard, right? He's a below-average passer, playmaker for others. He is a below-average defender. So the only redeemable value he has at the point guard spot is his scoring ability, but the problem is he's never been efficient. His true shooting percentage last year took a jump to 55%. The seasons prior to that, it was around 50%. That was back when I was hating on him for that reason. And then the last couple of years went to 55% last year and then 57.5% this year. So this was the first year where he was like slightly above average in terms of efficiency. If you're going to have a starting point guard who his only like redeemable value is his scoring ability, it has to be at least league average efficiency. So that was always my issue with him. Now he can finally be a shooting guard offensively because they have LaMelo, who's a big point guard, and LaMelo can guard 2s, can guard 3s. He has the size to do that. So you can play Terry Rozier off the ball more, and he doesn't have to kind of run and facilitate the offense as much as he used to. So he's a little better fit now that they have LaMelo in there. But that's why I always didn't really like his game, and that's why it's like you're paying the guy $25 million a year because he's a slightly above average 20 point per game scorer when his defense has declined and his passing ability is below average for his height, for his position.
Alan, I don't know what you're basing his defense declining on. It was actually okay last year.
I'm basing it off of, I mean, maybe I'm listening to the wrong Hornets fans. That's just what I'm basing it off of, because to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of their play-by-play like a lot of other people are. So I'm not sitting there, and I'm not a huge LaMelo Ball fan like a lot of people are. So I wasn't sitting there watching a ton of Hornets games last year. A lot of times I base players off of going to forums and kind of seeing what the fan base says about that player. I feel like that's a pretty good way to go, and you're able to kind of tell who knows what they're talking about when they're analyzing their player's defense. So some mixed opinions. I don't know. Reese, what does your stats say? Every time we talk defense, Eric, I'm just going to go to Reese and say, Reese, what does your stats say? For those of you who don't know, Reese developed a advanced defensive analytic. He's calling it Reese in all caps, because he doesn't know what to call it.
I came up with a new name for it.
What's your name for it?
Well, I originally called it Marvel because I was trying to make some of the things he uses in his equation work into a word, and that was the only word I could come up with. But yeah, we shortened it to Marv. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's gonna stick or whatever, but
Marv.
He says 148 out of 362.
Okay, so percentiles might be the way to go, Reese. Percentiles. Let's do 148 divided by 362. It's probably right around. Hey, that's slightly above average.
Yeah.
Based off Reese's perfect stat. So I'm wrong. 60th percentile, so slightly above average. My whole thing with him, though, is like he's only going to be guarding one position. You know what I mean? He's above average defender against one position. So that's always kind of my issue with him defensively, is he wasn't a guy that was super versatile, and like offensively I didn't like his game. So that was kind of my issue with him defensively.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think he should have gotten over a 4-year extension?
I think his contract that he signed last time was about as much as I pay him, which was about 18 and 19 a year or so.
Yeah.
I would not have gone over that. And like Trevin said in chat, it makes the Norm contract look that much better every time one of these guys signs. So,
you know what I just realized? I just hate everybody named Terry, apparently. I just came to that realization. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say like 16 mil. I thought they overpaid him last time, and he's kind of earned that contract, but still, it's like, what is he giving you that Dennis Schroder can't give you?
Well, that was Hal Cooper's question was, would you rather have Schroder or Rozier?
Given their contracts, like Schroder got $6 million this year.
But that would have been like a one-time thing. You wouldn't have gotten him for that next year. Let's say they both made 20 million.
But like he ain't like Terry Rozier, if he was a free agent, isn't only going to get $6 million this year. Like he's overvalued in my opinion. But like I don't like Schroder either. Schroder is a little better passer. He is a similar defender in my eyes. They're very similar. Offensively, I'd take Terry Rozier at this point. So, like, push comes to shove, I'd take Terry Rozier over Dennis Schroder, but it's not by much. And you're looking at Dennis Schroder getting $6 million this offseason and Terry Rozier gets a $25 million extension. I know it's kind of a different situation with Dennis Schroder and him demanding too much and kind of screwing himself over and turning down an extension. But the extension he was offered wasn't $25 million. So I think it just says that Terry Rozier paying him that much, you're overpaying him because you can find a guy like a Dennis Schroder on the free agent market that gives you a lot of the things that Terry Rozier might provide, and you can get him for like $6-7 million, right? And maybe next year it's not Dennis Schroder, but like a similar guy that can do a lot of what Terry Rozier can do. Terry Rozier just doesn't like differentiate himself enough from some of the point guards that are usually on the free agent market that you can get on a decent contract in order to give him $25 million a year.
As Eric Olson points out, he was the clutchest player in the league last year. Even clutcher than Dame.
Nope. No such thing. No such thing. No such thing. Fluke. See, that's how you know that's fluke. Right, so, I don't know. Overpay. I mean, we can all agree it's an overpay. How much of an overpay it is, that you'll get different opinions on that. Mm-hmm. Is anybody in chat saying it's not an overpay, Eric?
I don't know. Well, especially when you look at like Smart signs for 4 years, $77 million extension. I'd much rather have Smart than Rozier, and he's making $5 million less a year over that contract. So
yeah.
David, you asked Fred VanVleet or Rozier. I take VanVleet.
Yeah, I'd take VanVleet too. Moneyballer said Terry Rozier is better than Dame, so there's the 5-minute timeout for that. Trevin says hashtag Tory Jones is over party, so there's a 5-minute timeout for Trevin. We're going to go back to our roots today with the 5-minute timeouts, I guess.
Well, it's because you don't like Zach's grandparents, or you don't like grandparents now.
What?
Because Zach has a grandma named Terry, so...
No, that's with an I. That's with an I, okay? With the Y, it's a no-go, alright? With an I, that's okay. Just like, I like my name, but if you spell it with an I hate it. Right? So spelling matters, man. Take it from me. Right. I mean, you and Eric Olson can probably agree on that, too. So... Anyway, any other NBA stuff today that you want to talk about, or that you want us to talk about, chat? We'll let you guys have some input here.
Yeah, the rest of that I'll save till the end.
Alrighty.
Article.
Alrighty. Yeah. So, we're going to talk channel. I don't know where to start with this, though. Because there's a lot of different things we can talk about. Maybe we just ask chat if they have ideas for things we could do next year. Maybe that'd be a good idea. I'm not going into this prepared enough. How's my burn? My burn is good. I mean, I'm not going to go into detail, but it's not hurting. Let's just say that. All right. It's not hurting. But, it doesn't look, my arms don't look normal. Let's just say that. Chris, don't do that again. Don't you dare. That's grounds for a 5-minute ban. Yeah, so chat, we're just gonna take questions. This is just this whole stream is just kind of gonna be like playing it by the wind. give us some of your ideas for just maybe something that you wanted to see us do, maybe a video series you wanted to see us do, maybe, I don't know, could be in regards to the type of content you want to see on the website that we're launching. If you missed that, we'll talk about that in a sec. Just give us, I don't know, anything that you've wanted us to do in the past that we haven't done. Feel free to toss that out there in chat. Brian, I don't accept that spelling either. Drop some merch. We will drop some merch. We're planning on dropping some merch. I'm at least dropping a couple mouse pads. I'll show you guys one of the mouse pads I came up with. Do you want to thank the dono, Eric?
Sure. Stormfrantic15 says, how do you guys feel about the NBA schedule release tomorrow? Will you do a video breakdown on the Blazers schedule as well?
Yes, I always do video breakdowns. Is that really releasing tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, well, I guess the other bit of news is we're playing the Kings on opening night, which is better than playing the Jazz.
Yeah.
Like we always do.
Some people are happy about it. Some people are mad about it.
About us playing the Kings? Who cares?
Yeah. I think it'll be good to see because they have, they're loaded at guard. Mm-hmm. And also they got a very good defensive guard in the draft in Davion Mitchell. So both how we utilize our guards against theirs and how we defend their guards who have given us problems in the past. I'm interested to see the new schemes and stuff for that. So I think that's a good first game, but one we should also hopefully get off to a 1-0 start.
Dude, if we have what happens last season and we lose and get blown out opening night, that's going to suck, especially because of the Kings. So when I saw there was the Kings, I was like, okay, good. We should be able to start things off on the right foot. So I had no problems with it. I'd rather play a bad team first just to start things off right instead of like, yay, Blazer basketball is back at halftime. They're down 20 to the Jazz. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'll toss this image. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. I know mouse pads aren't exciting, but I really like this design. It's basically a city edition mouse pad. But it differs enough to be able to make it work. So let me toss this up on the screen. It's not gonna be centered or anything, but we're gonna drop that. So I'm definitely gonna have to get one. I'll definitely send Eric one. If you want, Eric, you want this mouse pad, Eric?
Sure.
What do you think of it? Have you seen this before? Have I showed you this?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. So, I mean, pretty cool mouse pad, I think. So we'll drop that and a couple other things in September, kind of to coincide with the website being launched. But anyway, appreciate the dono, Storm Frantic. I didn't thank you yet, so appreciate it. So I'll scroll back through chat. Some sort of stat tracker. I have thought about trying to do for post-game shows some sort of thing along the bottom of the screen, like a ticker or at least a slideshow or something just showing scores from the night. But I will have help with graphics on the post-game show. I will be paying somebody to do that for me. If you know, you know. I'm not going to say who, but a lot of people could probably guess if they're on Twitter a lot. And some people already know. So if you know, you know. You can look in chat and probably guess too. But so might be able to do a couple different things graphically on the post-game show that I couldn't already do because it was sort of a situation where I was trying to break stuff down. I was trying to make my point while also trying to make graphics and trying to listen to Eric and all that. So it was sort of a situation where I'm multitasking and it was tough. So next season we'll have help with that. So should be able to maybe do a little bit more. So that's something that I'm starting to look at okay, what could we possibly do? Anyway, Eric, you're awfully quiet.
I thought you had more actual news.
For the channel?
Yeah.
Well, I have some... I mean, I'm not done. I'm not done. But yeah, so like in the next 2 weeks, definitely give me if there's any sort of like, I don't know, anything you want to see on the post-game show, maybe graphically or a segment or something like that, definitely feel free to hit me up on Twitter or on the Discord. There is a recommendations channel in the Blazers Uprise Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, I'll drop the link in chat. Eric, do you have any ideas as to anything you would maybe want to do for the post-game show next year?
I think our post-game shows are already 100% awesome, so.
I mean, yeah, but you know me, I'm always looking like, what can we do more? Every season I always like to keep it fresh and roll out new stuff for you guys. So, sure, it'd be easy to just turn on the webcam and just go live and just have webcams and us talking. And you guys would probably watch that, but I try and bring you guys a lot in terms of graphics and whatnot. So. Definitely going to be looking into that. Definitely going to have new stuff for that. As far as highlights, we're going to have a third highlights channel. I have somebody brought on board that I'm going to work with. They're going to do game highlights, and I'm stuck in between two things. And I want your input on this, chat, and maybe I'll do a poll for this. On the third highlights channel, I could have them make just normal game highlights, or I could potentially have them do Blazers defensive highlights from each game, showcasing good defensive possessions, stuff like that. And then also once a week, I'm going to do a highlights breakdown. That'll be for channel members. If I miss an upload, I will give away $10 to one of the channel members. That's the deal. That I will have for you guys next year. So if I miss an upload, I'll give away money. But those people helping me with the highlights, they'll help me be able to do those footage breakdowns because they'll have recordings of full games that I can then go through and break down certain plays. So that's the plan for highlights next year. I don't know. It's sort of a situation where it's like you already have Damian Lillard highlights, you have Blazers highlights on YouTube already, but it's just something where, like, if that can help grow the channel and bring more people into the main channel, into Blazers Uprise, then it's worthwhile. So that's kind of my ideas on that.
But we can't do it even on the main channel, right?
Yeah, no, it won't be on the main channel. So we've created a third dedicated channel to highlights, since I don't want to risk messing around with, like, copyright on the main channel or even on this channel. So that's why we've made a third highlights channel where it's just basically going to be all highlights, and it's separated so that we, don't really have to worry about it. And here's the thing, like, NBA highlights, there's, like, the NBA's cool with people doing highlights. They just take all the ad revenue and stuff from it. I have heard, like, it's very rare, but I have heard situations where they have given channels a strike before, but that was in the past. Like, I haven't heard about that or seen that, and I watch some highlight channels and whatnot, so I don't think that's really a thing to worry about anymore. It's just sort of like, I don't want to worry about that with the main channel. It's just another thing to stress about, and I feel like our content's good enough without highlights over here on the main channel. But we will have the third channel dedicated to highlights, to footage breakdowns, to game breakdowns. That'll be something pretty cool.
As much as Tori and I would love to have a press pass, that's not happening.
I've been planning on trying, but I know it's not going to work because they won't. What is their attitude towards, like, fan size? Like, Blazers Edge, they wouldn't give one to. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And they're more established than we are, so it's sort of a situation where it's like, if I called, I would ask if we could do, like, a live feed of interviews in the locker room and say, like, we won't ask questions. And I would pay somebody to go down there I would pay somebody to be our kind of in-arena person and just hop on the call with us, filming live if they had locker room access, so that we could get like live interviews into the post-game show and then we could react after. Like, that would be pretty cool. I would literally tell them, we won't even ask questions. We just want a live feed to the locker room for our post-game shows. I highly, highly, highly doubt that'll happen. But I should call and try. I should call and try. It's just, I've heard that the people that you deal with in the organization for that will, like, not respond for months if you're not legitimate.
Yeah.
So, you know.
When it is safe to do so again, I would love to have some sort of live broadcast from a location or something after a game. Invite people out to watch the game with us, and then we can do a remote live stream or whatever, where we're both there. I think the more we get out and meet some of you, at least the local people, it'd be great, and then it would also be cool to just mix it up and film from different locations sometimes.
And for the draft next year, that could be something we try and do for sure. That's something that I thought about too. Like, if we can do it at least once a month, a watch party somewhere. And, maybe channel members getting free. We're going to really be pushing the memberships and making sure that we, like, at least because I kind of handle the membership stuff, I'll make sure that we are legitimate and consistent, and if I miss something, I will give away money. So that's how I'll make it up to y'all. I'll give away money to a channel member. That is the plan with that. So maybe it's something like that's a perk for being a channel member. You get to be able to go to those meet and greets. I don't know. Just kind of spitballing here, but that would be something cool to do, a meet and greet and then a live stream afterwards. We would need some security because I don't want, these fools in chat, Eric, running up on camera, so would want a couple big security guards standing on each side of the table. But, nah. In all reality, that'd be cool, though, to meet some of you guys and then do something a little different.
You think anyone would mess with this?
Yeah. See, we're pretty big. So, like, 6'4", and what are you, Eric? 6'7"? Nobody's messing with that.
Zach said he'll be our security.
Zach is, Zach, you can be our security, man.
Wait, what were you going to say?
What?
Nothing.
What do you think I was going to say?
Don't call out Zach like that.
Well, I did call out Zach. I said he could be our security because I trust him.
I would feel safe around Zach.
Yeah, exactly. What are you thinking? Negative thoughts about our guy Zach?
No, you just sounded like you were going to say something and you held back.
Why would I ever say anything mean about Zach? Zach is the nicest guy, man. Zach is the nicest guy. Zach is a pleasure to know, all right? So I don't think I've ever said anything bad about Zach, man, except when he trolls. Okay, except when he brings it upon himself.
He does.
Yeah, so it's always deserved. If I ever say anything about Zach, it's always deserved. And he knows that.
Yeah, all right. Derek's a licensed security guard, so...
JV says I'm 6'9", 420 pounds. Can I be security? No, you're not. I just realized the numbers right when I said it. Who said he's security?
Derek Sprower.
Derek Sprower. Hey, all right, we got our two security guards.
Derek on one side and Zach on the other side.
Yep. So, yeah, that is something I've worried about. Those, like, if we're streaming in front of people and people are still there, like, I don't know.
I think people would be cool.
Yeah, so obviously we have to find a venue for that. I will try and, like, the plan would be, if we were doing it from a venue, to try and give that venue free publicity by streaming there and hopefully being able to save at least a little bit on, kind of renting out a spot in whatever venue it is. I have no idea where that could be. I don't know if you have any ideas. Not Waffle House, Alex. But, yeah, so maybe that could be a thing. Do you have any ideas for venues, potentially?
Yeah, the Roundtable Pizza Clubhouse versions have a room you can rent out, and you can close the doors and stuff, and they have TVs in there to watch the game. I'm assuming they would all have Root Sports now that it's going to be on Root Sports. But there's some place that we've held our fantasy draft at, and it's been pretty chill.
Yep. See, I thought Big Al's too is another place. Like Roundtable is definitely like baseline for sure, probably the easiest place to set up and cost efficient. Yada yada. Big Al's would be dope. It'd be more pricey, so maybe it'd be a situation where we had to sell tickets and members would get a discount or something and first dibs or whatnot. Because like Big Al's is expensive to rent out, because it'd be 5 hours that we'd probably rent it out for.
Yeah,
maybe 6. Like that's a long time to rent out a place. So would maybe have to do tickets, because you think about like the game's 2.5 hours. We'd want to let people in early and then a 2-hour stream. The game and the stream would be like 4.5 hours. You'd want to let people in early. It'd have to at least be 5 hours.
Yeah,
but would probably want to let people in a little bit earlier than that. So we'd be looking at more like 6. So that's something that we will look at the start of the season. We probably won't have any. We probably won't have an update on that until maybe November. We'll look at that. We got to make sure we get the website rolling, and obviously COVID. It depends on COVID, and COVID's getting worse. And now Washington has to, even if you're vaccinated, have to mask indoors. So I know that's kind of been the way in Oregon for a little bit. Now it's the case in Washington. So obviously right now it's not the safest time. So no pickup runs and whatnot. But yeah, we definitely want to start doing community events for sure. Just this whole pandemic kind of threw a wrench in that.
Yep, for sure.
So if you have any other venues, let me know in chat. Venue ideas and whatnot. I just figured Big Al's. Are you a good bowler, Eric?
Actually, I am a good bowler.
Of course you are. What's your high score?
270?
270?
260 something? Yeah.
Okay, well, Eric definitely wants to go to Big Al's.
I haven't bowled in a while, but I was in a league for like
that's
7-8 years. But
that's
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's cracked. My high score is like 120, bro, so oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm not beating Eric in a game of golf.
Bowling?
Or a game of... So I read Eric Olson's comment. He said mini golf. Are you a good golfer?
Oh, you're not beating me at mini golf either.
Oh, you're a good mini golfer too?
Yeah,
you got the touch?
I was 2 under par. I just played the other day in Sun River. Yeah.
See, I don't have kids to go mini golfing with, man. Eric's just a multi-sport athlete, guys. He's a legitimate bowler and a legitimate mini golfer. So
I suck at real golf, but it's so much fun to play.
So, would you say bowling is your best sport?
No, I mean, because compared to other people, I wasn't even close to being top 10 or top 20 in the league probably that I bowled in. So, whereas in basketball, I feel a lot more confident in my skills in most situations. So, I'd still say basketball.
Yeah. 270 is insane, though. That's crazy. Alvaro says, hosting a live show of the draft at Spirit of 76 would be amazing. Eric would have a blast showing off his scouting skills. I don't know really anything about Spirit of 76. Have you been there? Do you know anything about Spirit of 76?
Well, that's the one right outside the Motor Center, right?
Is it?
I think that's what...
Why is this... No, I thought that was Jack... I don't know. Maybe it is. Alvaro, is that the one outside of Motor Center? I'm getting it mixed up with something downtown. Yes.
No, I've never gotten a 7-10 split. It's very tough.
Yeah. I mean, that would be dope. Spirit of 77. Yeah, 76. Alvaro, do you know what year we won the championship? Spirit of 76.
The only thing is, we'd want to do it in a place where it wasn't over 21, because...
Yeah. Because, bars have cool settings that you could set up in, and, I don't know, as a venue, it's cool, but it would be 21 and over. And according to our haters, like, nobody over 21 watches this. So if you're over 21 and you're watching us right now, you're fake.
That's a joke. Just for, please don't.
Please only, yeah. So yeah, it's like Big Al's. What's the other like place that's like Big Al's, but different brand?
Well, maybe one of our mods can hook us up at a place he started working at.
Yeah. Is that mod in here? Yeah, that mod is in here.
It's a bit of a drive for you, but
I mean, see, like, if it's like for a community event, I'll drive anywhere in Portland. You know what I mean? I'm not tripping about that. I drive for a living, so honestly, long drives are very, I don't know, they don't wear me out, and they're not a problem for me. So, any place in Portland, honestly. Well, like, that's the thing, it needs like a room or an area you watch the game and whatnot. So Big Al's has, I think, areas like that, and then you can go out and bowl too. So we can watch your. Did you throw like the fingers not in the hole, the 2-hand spin, or are you just like pretty basic?
Oh, I don't do the 2-hand, but yeah, I do the where it starts on the side and then at the last minute cuts back in and
you got the
down
spin
all the
on it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a little out of practice right now, so if you're ever gonna beat me, it would be like whatever the first time.
Eric could probably throw a bowling ball like a baseball, man. So don't mess with him. Don't say anything bad, man. Chiefin better not show up. That's all I'm gonna say. Chiefin isn't in here, man. Shoot, I played 3 rec league games today. I want Chiefin in here to start talking trash about basketball, man. But he's not in here, so we won't. Who's better at ping pong? I haven't played ping pong in years. Used to play a lot as a kid, but Eric probably just smashes all the balls, man.
I don't really play ping pong very often, so that'd probably be a fair game.
Are you good at pool?
No, not really anymore.
I love playing pool, but I'm trash.
Yeah, there was like a 1 or 2 year stretch in college where I played frequently and was okay, but yeah. Never good. Yeah.
What's the other places like Big Al's that I'm... Why am I blanking on this? Ugh. I don't know. I can't believe I'm blanking on this. There's like another place that's like a Big Al's. Chat. Nobody knows. Am I just making stuff up in my head? Dude, no, not Hooters. Brian Scalabrine, get out of here with that.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Dave and Buster's, but the closest one is, what, Clackamas?
Bro, I'm sure chat, like, we got 100 people in here. I'm sure, like, every person would probably give $10 for you to, like, climb up in the Chuck E. Cheese thing. That's $1,000, Eric. That's $1,000 right there.
Bro, I mean, people wouldn't even have to pay me. Like, I've done it recently. So, well, not since the pandemic started, but... Wait,
what?
I mean, you forget I had 2 little kids, so...
You had to go get one of them?
Yeah, basically.
Eric, just like, you won't have to pay me, I've done it. I was not expecting that.
Like, you go to also, like, the McDonald's or Burger King ones, and my kids wanted me to go up and play with them up there, so I'll do it,
yeah. Hey, it's a family man right there. I missed that. That's one of the things I miss about my childhood. Now it's like, bro, I ain't getting up there unless I'm going and getting a kid or have, doing it for my kid or something like that. Here I am saying my kid like I have one. You don't know me, chat. Just kidding. Eric, what is your occupation? Do you want to plug your occupation, Eric? Or?
Let's say I own a party store. I'll just put it that.
Yeah. So if you want party stuff, hit up Eric. Go buy it from his store. #ad for free. Tori has a kid confirmed. Yeah, no, not planning on it anytime soon. So back to the channel. Yeah, meetups would be cool. Pickup runs will probably be next summer, and we will have more time in the summer, and it'll be more safe in the summer. And Hopefully, like, we get a better plan in terms of just venue. Like, we find a good venue to consistently do. It's just, like, I would want 2 courts if we did pickup runs. Because, like, I feel like, how many people do you think we could get out for a pickup run if there was no COVID?
If we promoted it like a few weeks in advance, I think we could probably get like 50 people.
Yeah, I was thinking like 1 to 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
Probably at least 30 is what I was thinking, but possibly 50. So it's sort of a situation where if we have 30 and you do teams of 6, that's 5 teams, right? So I would want to do, I would want to have 2 courts, and one team would be sitting out at a time, but, you know, you'd play 4 out of 5 games, whatnot. Could play some pickup runs. It could mix up the teams. I don't know exactly how it'd work, but it's sort of a situation where it's like we'd probably have enough people where we wouldn't just want 1 court. Renting out 2 courts, I'd want to rent it for like 2 hours too. I don't know if chat is in shape, but, you know, I played 3 hours of rec league basketball today, so I can handle 2 hours. So that's the thing. 2 courts, 2 hours. It adds up.
Although, I don't know, like some people would want to like watch the people who are playing, you know.
And people could come watch.
And
too.
I like to watch. No, I'm saying like if there was 1 court, like then the people who aren't playing are all watching, you know. And a lot of people, myself included, want to see how some people like Chiefin play and stuff. So if I don't mind sitting and watching and rooting for people or against certain people.
Yeah. Could do some cool stuff with it. But the thing is, I want to make sure it's like videotape too. So like I gotta find somebody to videograph, and I posted on this website. It was like find videographers for any situation. So I posted basically I just want basic footage of us playing pickup basketball, right? And the one guy who replied was like, yeah, man, I got a drone and I got a cart that, you know, I can automatically wheel, and like I'm in Tacoma, it'll be $350 an hour. I was like, dude, we don't need all that. What about just like basic stuff? Like just go down here and videotape. He's like, oh well, you know, not counting the gas money, like $300 an hour. I'm like, Jesus. Yeah, no. So, CH Sports $2 donor says, let me come make a video. I'm a YouTuber. Yeah, if you wanted to come and videotape, I'd pay you. You're not getting $300 or $250, or, you know, you're not going to get, you know, a fortune. But I'll definitely make it worthwhile for you if you want to come down and videotape. It won't be this summer, most likely, given the way the pandemic has gone, but maybe we could do it during the season. I don't know. We'll figure something out. And if you follow me on Twitter, I don't know. Just reach out to us when we do it or something, because we definitely need a videographer. I wonder, chat, are you guys, if you guys were showing up to the pickup run, are you guys comfortable being in a video? Anyway, what were you going to say, Eric?
If my fat belly is in a video, they can be in a video.
Yeah, exactly. You're not that. You're just you're not fat. You are big.
I got that big COVID weight on right now.
Yeah, I'm supposed to say like, no, Eric, your body is great.
No,
so
I don't care.
No self-deprecation here.
I need to lose like 30 pounds.
Yeah, I could lose another 15. So I'm right there with you. Chat wants to be in the video, so I haven't seen anybody say no. So chat would want to be in the video, so that's good. I just didn't know if some people were like camera shy. I'm like, no, don't put me on YouTube. But
go 49ers 05. I am not big boned. I am actually incredibly skinny normally. I just, yeah.
Dude,
the past few years have put on a ton of weight.
I have skinny bones, man. That's, yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat. I think I can go to the first knuckle with my thumb around my wrist. Yeah, first knuckle. So, yeah. I wish I was big boned. I wouldn't look so skinny. I'm like fat and I'm skinny. Dang, did I get my arm on the camera? I wasn't supposed to get my arm on the camera. It does not look good right now. Yikes. Zach says, I don't want to be in a video, but I'll be in a video, I guess.
Zach's going to post me up.
Yeah, Zach, you got to get in there, man. You got to get in there. If you give me $5, I won't have any of your lowlights in there, chat. If you guys don't want any lowlights in the video.
Bribes now.
Yep. Smart businessman strategies. Yeah, none of my lowlights are going in that video because they don't exist. Literally today, I literally passed it right to a defender thinking it was my teammate. So yes, they do exist, but it'll be a fun video. It'll be mostly, Chiefin crossing me up, supposedly. But yeah.
Chiefin's going to try so hard to break your ankles, he's going to break his own ankles.
Dude, I'd love to see it. Here's the thing, most of the time in my rec league, I don't play defense 100% simply because I do not have the stamina to, and it's I'd rather play offense 100% than defense. I try, but if I play 100%, I'm a good defender. So I think Chiefin thinks I'm going to be slow because I'm 6'4", because I'm tall. I think he thinks he's just going to be able to beat me off the dribble consistently, but he has another thing coming. I'll just say that right now, man. He's been talking trash about playing basketball. For those of you who don't know, he's one of our viewers. He's been here a while. He's basically an OG, right? He was here from the start, wasn't he? Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so he's an OG. He has always constantly talked trash about playing basketball to me and to Eric, and just thinks he's LeBron James. So that will definitely be something whenever we have a pickup run and he shows up. That'll be a one-on-one that's in that video. Yeah, that'll be fun. If I'm hitting threes, no chance he beats me. If I'm missing threes, no chance he beats me. I'll talk all that trash to him right now, man. I don't care. That'll be fun. And if he beats me, it never happened. Cut out of the video.
Since he's not here, you should hustle him.
Should I hustle him?
Yeah, play once and let him beat you, but just play like you're slow or whatever. Don't move your feet well and miss every three you take or whatever, and then be like, oh, that's it. I want a rematch. Let's bet $100 or something, and then just smoke him.
Hustling my subscribers via basketball. I feel like it's too late for that because the Rip City 3-on-3 is out there and everything, But that would be funny if we could pull that off. I would do that. Absolutely.
Chief would be the type to believe it though.
He would be talking dude, you're slow, because he talks trash.
I told you I'd be better than you.
Yeah, and then I go try hard and I just talk trash the whole way. I don't talk trash to people unless they talk it first. So he's gonna be talking. Honestly, 2 years ago before the pandemic, I used to chirp back. In my rec league, man, people were chirpy again, and I just let everything go. Kind of at this point. But if Chiefin's talking, he better not be talking. I better not make it a situation where he can talk, so. But anybody else who wants some work, or wants to play with me and work some people, show up. Maybe we'll have a community 3-point contest and give something away. That would be cool. I don't know. There's a lot we can do with that, so. My mind's always trying to come up with cool ideas to do so. But yeah, meetups, we will do that. As far as the website goes, I just want to talk about that because I did release a Twitter statement, a press release, all official. But I did release a press release Eric will be kind of overseeing the website. Just makes it easier given, all the work that goes into streams and videos and all that type of stuff. So it'll make it so that I'm more confident that Eric will be able to help us get out more consistent content than I would be if I was like the one running it. So Eric's going to be overseeing that. Here's the problem I've always run into, Eric, is like everything that I thought for myself was like a good article idea. I was like, that'd also be a great video idea. I should do a video. Mm-hmm. So there are a couple things we have to work out, but if you're interested in writing us, email us at blazersuprise@gmail.com. Not everybody that wants to write for us is necessarily going to get approved. We're trying to have, I don't want to insult anybody, but we're trying to have quality written content on the website and kind of have a high standard. So I don't know what else to say on that. Just because you want to write doesn't mean you'll necessarily be able to. Sorry, it's just kind of the way it is.
That's what's cool about having writers, though, is because they might have a different opinion than us on a video or something, and it'll be cool to see a different opinion. But also, even if it's us writing the articles or whatever, or some of them, that would also make good videos. I think having different media, both the video and a written form, can never hurt. I think it's always a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I've thought about that, and that was actually what I was going to bring up next. Like, should we, video ideas, mid-level exception targets or whatnot. Like, That's probably a good idea to mesh that into an article. Yep. And then I could take clips where I'm talking about each player, and then I could write a little bit about them and have, different clips throughout the article. I'm pretty sure we can do that with our website. So basically, it's just a situation where it's like we're trying to figure out ways to just expand the platform. And all you OGs, like, it's not going to be a situation where it's like, oh, now all of a sudden we're not recognizing anybody in chat. Like, all you guys in chat, I recognize you from previous streams. Like, I know all you, especially all the people that come here on this channel. It's a lot of OGs, it's a lot of cool people, you know what I mean? So, it's not a situation where it's like, we don't care about the people that have supported us from the beginning. We just want to get our numbers up, and that's all we care about. But when we're trying to compete against other people, especially another, person or two on YouTube, it is sort of a situation where we're trying to expand the platform, bring more people in, and just build the community. So that, like, the website, I'm hoping does that. The highlights channel, I'm hoping does that a little bit. It won't do that as much as the website, most likely, but that's basically next season we're trying to bring you guys more content. So that's a part of it too, is like bring you guys a better product or just more, content. And then also hoping that helps build the platform. Because I've always said helps build the channel, but since we're branching into the website, like it's kind of becoming a platform if we're able to get that working like we plan on doing. So that's sort of the whole basis for next season.
Shervin messaged me on Discord, play-by-play. If you're on the Discord, message me there as well. And yeah, definitely email soon because I'd like to get stuff going. I'd like to get some ideas for articles and have some content ready to go on September 6th. So the sooner you contact us and get in touch with both either Tori or myself, the quicker we can get the process started to see how it's going.
Yep, so September 6th is the first Monday of September, so we have about 2.5 weeks. So tomorrow, and yeah, basically tomorrow I'm going to try and reach out to every single writer that I talked to about writing for the website. Well, not every single one. There's a couple that have gone to the dark side, but basically if you and I talked about writing for the website in the past, most likely you will get an email tomorrow talking about, just kind of continuing the process, because I started reaching out to writers a few months ago, but it wasn't a situation where I was confident in being able to get out consistent content because I was planning a bunch of content for the off season and streaming going into that. Now that things have kind of died down and Eric's, helping a ton. He's basically he is the site master, official role. With Eric kind of overseeing that, which I'll help him too. I'm not just throwing Eric to the wolves here. But we will be able to do it consistently. So I will follow up and kind of continue that process if I've talked with you about potentially writing for us. So be on the lookout tomorrow, if that is you. Caleb Pendergraft, $5 dono, says, my spelling sucks, so I can't contribute much. Beyond my money, sad face. Appreciate it, Caleb.
Like Trevin said, he should have spelled something wrong in that donation. That would have made it better.
I know. You spelled everything right there, so I don't know if I believe you, man. It seems like you can spell when you want to. Which, I mean, you see my tweets. It's a typo every single tweet.
And for those that are mentioning people we should team up with, if I wanted to fake sources and do my own stupid rumors, I would just do that on my own. I don't need those guys to start fake rumors or say I have inside sources, but we're going to actually have legit stuff and opinions and stuff. So.
And I've talked about this, I think, on last stream, but it's like, I'm, critical of, a lot of written content and whatnot. So it's sort of a situation where it's like, dang, I don't want to be, putting out stuff that if somebody else put it out, I'd be saying, oh, I don't like this article. You know what I mean? So that's kind of something I had. But we will help writers along the way. It's a situation where, we're going to give you, if we're bringing you on to write for us, we're going to give you room to grow as a writer. We're going to give you constructive feedback. I want it to be a very positive experience. That's very important to me for anybody that's, writing or kind of working with us. I want it to be a great experience for them, and just a really positive thing. So it's not a situation where it's like, hey, writer number 3, I hate this article. We will work with you guys, and Eric will kind of oversee a lot of articles before they're published to maybe give a little bit of feedback on. So it'll be a work in progress, but I'm confident that we'll be able to put out some really good written content and kind of grow into that space and step our way into that space. And that's the plan. So, anything else on the website that you want to touch upon?
No, it's just keep in mind when it starts that we're going to try our best to have as much content as possible, but we're starting it in a time when we're after all the off-season moves for the most part, and it's not quite training camp yet. But once the season rolls around, we'll definitely have as much content as we can possibly put on there.
Yep, and that's why I figured early September 6th was kind of a good start date. Basically, it's we're not going to be posting anything before then. I figured starting it September 6th when things are kind of dead could give us a slow ramp-up period in kind of just a month or so. I mean, training camp starts the 28th of September, so by that point, hopefully we've hit the ground running. But it'll give us a bit of a ramp-up period to that to kind of slowly figure things out, so to say. So, that's the plan for the website. Next season, I mean, I haven't really talked. We've talked about this a little bit, Eric, but I know we've talked about it on stream, and people have recommended it. And, I mean, you had people joking around saying, collaborate with Fake Hoop. Fake Hoop, but it would be cool to... I don't know how it would look like, so this is just spitballing. You could tell me this is a terrible idea. I don't know. It would be cool to collaborate and maybe bring on a guest here and there. I don't know what that would look like. It could look like, for channel members, they're able to watch a stream of us in the person and ask questions for that person, and then we release it as an edited video, later on in the week or something. It could be, people coming on a stream. I'm not really sure. What are your thoughts on that, chat? What are your thoughts on that, Eric? I know we haven't really talked about it, so I'm kind of just spitballing and putting you on the spot, but...
Well, I've actually tried to shoot high and
yeah, you have. You definitely have.
Yeah, so I mean, I would love to. I shot my shot with Ednisha. She hasn't responded.
Yeah.
I tried to contact Roy Rogers, but from what I've seen, he doesn't have Twitter. I can't. There's so many Roy Rogers, it's hard to figure out what his Twitter is. Most of the other people have private messages and stuff, but if anyone has the ability to slide into someone's DMs that could possibly put in a word or ask for an interview request, would be much appreciated, because we'd love to have someone from the team on the show, or a coach or someone in the front office, or anyone. If anyone knows anybody, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, and so that's the thing, is like, this is dependent on other people saying yes, so it won't be a situation where it's like, yeah, we'll give you one guest video every 2 weeks or every month. Like, it won't be anything that we promise, because it's like, we're not fully in control, because if anybody we tries to get says no, then we can't put out a video or have a stream with them on it or whatnot. We'll keep aiming high. What's more likely is maybe local media, but given how much of our local media I'm just kind of on, I don't know who that would be. Most of them
hate us anyway, so...
I mean, like, Stephen Vaughn has been on Rip City Radio, and he's a really cool guy. Really, really cool guy. And he works for Rip City Radio 620, so that could be a guy that we could probably get on here, and he's pretty well spoken. He plays some college basketball, so we could have some good conversations with him. I mean, your favorite guy, Chad Doing. Maybe, I mean, that would just be... See, like, here's the thing, is, like, Chad Doing has kind of driven me crazy in the past, and I've probably driven him crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's a situation where, like, in the past, it's kind of been but it would be entertaining, and I know you guys would want to watch it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and he's cool enough where I would be willing to collaborate with him or do something with him. Other people in media, no. Like, no, definitely not. I mean, like, people say Aaron Fentress. Here's the thing. The first thing I would ask Aaron... Like, the first thing I would want to ask Aaron Fentress is, why did you ask Derrick Jones Jr. why he yells when he dunks? Have you never played sports? I mean, I wouldn't ask that, if we had a... It's just like, I don't know. Are there any names on the top of your head?
To Fentress's credit, he hasn't been as bad lately. As Weezy puts it, the redemption arc of Aaron Fentress.
I mean, Jason Quick, I'd be willing to have Jason Quick on, if he wanted to.
That'd be cool.
That would be actually, like, the number one guy I'd want on. That might be gettable.
Or Dwight James.
Or Dwight. I feel like Quick has, like, some inside stuff, though. You know what I mean? So I could ask him some... Are you sure it wasn't top 4 protected first? Quick? But, yeah, I mean, like, there could be... I mean, that could be, like, some new stuff that could be cool. Are there any names on the top of your head that I haven't named?
No, you pretty much named them.
Mike Reese.
I'm still blocked by Chad.
I could probably get you unblocked. You want to be unblocked?
Nah, it's cool.
But, like, Chad's by all accounts a good guy. Like, that's what I've heard. And he actually, like, watched one of my mailbags and reached out to me and, like, said he liked it, and I did a good job. You know what I mean? That was, like, really cool of him. Like, I know I'm critical of the media, but hearing, like, a media guy say, like, he, like, liked one of my videos was pretty cool. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie about that. So, he would be okay. Anybody saying meringue? I know. Okay, here's the thing. Absolutely not. But I know, like, out of anybody, you guys would want to just see the bloodbath that would be whatever that turns into.
Yeah.
Like
I don't even want to go down that road.
no, absolutely not. But like, if I was a viewer, Eric, I would be like, please. You know what I mean? But me in my position, I'm like, definitely not. Definitely not. We never met him in person. We personally don't like each other. It's like, I criticize media. With him, it's more personal. It's the only guy where it's like personal with. So yeah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. But that would be, I would love to just out debate him, Eric. At the same time, but it ain't happening. Go ahead.
So yeah, we'd love to have Sean's, but like, how do we get someone like that on the show? I mean,
Yeah.
But the ultimate irony would be someone that was mentioned earlier. Like, what if we somehow like got a good relationship with Stotts and like had him as a regular guest?
How would that?
I don't know, but that would be like
That's
the
like
most ironic thing ever. Is like him to actually be cool with the show and like contribute and like come on regularly. That would just be crazy.
He would just have to not watch any of our post game streams from last year ever.
Well, I mean, he doesn't
Or
seem
look
like the
at our
type of guy
Twitter.
who would like go backwards and look.
Because you know, if he like saw what we were saying about him, he'd be like, "No, screw those guys."
The first time he came on, though, he'd have like people like Dan Meringue like try to tell him that not to listen to us or to go on our show anymore.
Yeah, see, Dan Meringue is the type to undermine what we're doing. So, yeah, that's why it's more personal, man. Like, everybody else, they're not trying to undermine what we're doing, but Dan Meringue is the type to try and, I don't know. And maybe he's not, but he's the, like, just knowing what I know about him, he's the type to do that. So, you know, not trying to slander the guy, but he's slandered us multiple times, and so what's fair is fair. I'll give it right back. That's how I've always been. I will give it back. Okay? If we disagree, but somebody's respectful, I will try and be respectful. If somebody's disrespectful, I'll give it back. That's how I've always operated. I treat people how they treat me. And I try not to go as far as some people do. So, that's basically how I've operated. Beavis Uprise stream. Oh, never. But yeah, like, we'll aim high with people, but I don't know. Like, honestly, I would be so nervous to have Stotts on. I mean, like, this dude.
It was so weird, yeah.
Oh my goodness, because you'd have chat. I feel like you'd have people in chat just trashing him. Yeah. See, like, if we have a guest on that you guys haven't liked in the past or maybe don't like, try and keep it respectful in chat. Well, because, like, go ahead.
I mean, honestly, Stotts just got, I mean, his coaching got stale and he didn't try any new things and stuff. But that doesn't mean he couldn't be either a good assistant coach on another team or a good, like, commentator or, like, provide good analysis when he's not attached to the situation, you know? So there could be people like that. Like, not everyone, but a lot of people are trashing, like, Scott Brooks, like, oh, he's a terrible coach. Like, why would you even want him having a voice in the organization and stuff like that? It's like, well, like, I mean, who knows? He could be one of those guys who was, like, an excellent assistant coach, but struggled as a head coach. So I don't think Stotts would be terrible as, like, an analyst. I think he's a smart basketball mind, and he knows a lot about the game. It's just, he was just wrong for the Blazers coaching situation. Yep. Yeah,
exactly. Jackson says that's what the blue people are for, Tori. You're right. That's why we have 4 great mods. Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, like, yeah, Stotts would just have to not watch anything that we've ever done before, you know what I mean, and not hear, like, oh yeah, these guys were the leader of the anti-Stotts movement, Terry. They were the reason you got fired. They were your downfall. But Jackson says 5 now. Well, I have Krish modded because he's gonna help us with graphics and whatnot. But like he'll participate in picks against the spread if he wants to next year. But he's like more like the graphics guy. We just have him modded just because he's like a contributor. You know, we'll mod our highlights guy too. But it's sort of a situation where it's like we have our dedicated mods that are here for moderating, if that makes sense. So, because like I'm modded on Gabe's, I'm modded on Valley Podcast, but I'm not going to go in there and like kick people and ban people and do any like moderating. It's just so that if there's fake accounts of me, they know. Mm-hmm. But they banned my personal account, and I can't get into the Blazers Uprise account on my phone, and they banned my personal account, my main personal account, so I had to go to my second personal account. Yeah, so there's always a lot of fakes, and it's ridiculous. I hate it. We had one in here, a meringue fake. Like, just whoever's faking accounts, just anything I say won't stop them. I just don't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see how it's fun, I guess. It's just a headache for us.
How Cooper asked, do people actually believe y'all are the reason why he got fired? I don't think anyone believes we're the reason, but we definitely were the face of the Fire Studs movement, especially earlier in the season before it became absolutely apparent that he needed to go. Tori and I have banged that drum since Blazers Uprise started, and long before that to each other. So.
Yep. Ethan says, I miss Portlandia. Here's an idea, Eric. I don't know if this is a good idea. This is probably a really bad idea. But to start the season, we could start fresh.
Hey, I had that idea last season.
And, like, just unblock everybody.
Yeah. Yep. I'd be fine with that.
That could be something we do every season. Yeah, we could do that during our layoff. Because, like, I think because we're taking next week off every year. Maybe last week of August we take off. And that kind of, like, is the official end of, like, the 2020-2021 season, right? And then the off season following it, I guess. And then, like, next season's content starts in September. Like, the first week we're back. And as part of that 1 week layoff, maybe it's a good idea to unblock everybody.
Yeah, maybe. Like, 90% of them are trolls that probably forgot their password. And
exactly. Like, they'll probably... And other people will probably just get blocked again. Ben Hewitt says, what would I have to do to get blocked? There's nothing you could do to get blocked, Benny. You are immune.
Like, why does someone pretend
I didn't even see Portlandia post. I just see that you timed them out. I don't even see the post. That must have been quick.
Oh, people.
Yeah. See, that's the problem is, like, if Stas was still a coach, I wouldn't want to unblock him. You know? The problem is you had people who, like, kind of took the attention, like, of me and Eric and just kind of, like, took it, and, like, Block Boy was one of those, and, like, we can unblock Block Boy. The problem was, like, Portlandia and Block Boy, they were, like... Yeah, exactly. They were, like, disrespectful. Like, they disagreed, but then they would, like, cross the line in certain situations. Like, that was kind of the deal. And we would tell, like, I don't know, like, we tried to tell them not to say some of the things. It wasn't that bad, but then they'd keep doing it, and I don't even remember what it was, so.
Yeah, but basically what happened with Block Boy, with Peace and Love, and with Portlandia, we were cool and interacted. We like people who have different opinions.
Mm-hmm.
But then it gets to the point, where we're interacting with you and we're talking with you, and then you're saying disrespectful things or like trying to say that we're not welcoming a different opinion when we're taking time out of our show to actually discuss something with you, or call you delusional or whatever. So that's why they don't block. I don't know.
I would just love to unblock Block Boy, and then, like, if we play the Lakers next year and Melo goes, like, 1 for 11, to have him in here, and we can just roast him and Melo, since Melo isn't a Blazer anymore. That would be fun. Because I would just roast. I would like, I would have fun with it, and I think chat would have fun with it too. But I don't know. Should we do it, chat? I'll post a poll. Should we unblock everyone?
Yeah, I say we do it.
Yeah, mine's a yes vote.
Maybe just write down everyone who's blocked or unblocked so we know that they have like one chance. Sorry, mods, by the way.
I mean, that's why we have 4. We might. So wait, Trevin. Are you going to be able to like help us consistently next year? We'll still let you have your moderatorship and everything. I just know Trevin's. I don't know if Trevin wants me to say it, but I'll say it anyway. Trevin's going off to college, so 85% say yes. Zach says I voted no. The first person to say they voted no is a mod, of course. But are you going to be able to like be consistent next year, Trevin, or do you not know yet? Or I just know you're probably going to be busy with school and everything. So if not, just let me know. We can add a 5th one. I wouldn't mind adding a 5th one. You should be here a similar amount? Okay, then that's fine. I don't think we need to add a 5th one, then. What do you think, Eric?
I think we're good. I mean, I don't think it hurts to have more mods, but...
Yeah. It's just like part of being a mod is you participate in picks against the spread. And we're going to add Krish to that next year. And Jackson will be a part of that next year. He wasn't last year. So we're going to have 7 picks. 7 picks. And I'll change up the graphics. See, that's the thing. I got to figure out the graphics for picks against the spread. But we have the polls in chat.
Mm-hmm.
Which will make things a million times easier.
Yep.
So, question. For Double Down next year, do you want to do it percentage? Do you want to do it if somebody donates, they can pick the Double Down? Like, how do you think we should do it?
I think we should... Wait, is there a limit to how many poll options you can do?
You can post as many polls as you want.
No, how many options in one poll?
4.
Oh, okay, that one worked. Yeah, I think just whatever gets the highest percentage then.
Yeah, because I was saying we could do, if somebody donates before
so
the
clutch,
end of it. That's so what?
That's so clutch having the polls.
I know, dude.
Zach is so happy.
Zach, you're not gonna miss counting, man. We might have to do one stream where we just count for old time's sake once we're bored of the polls. Just to let you count some numbers, man. But yeah, it's so much easier. Like, we don't have to like set a certain amount where people aren't getting their things in. Nobody's gonna vote prematurely, Eric. You'll probably have 1 or 2 people that don't know that the polls are an option. So like the first stream, they're gonna start saying Blazers or Kings or whatever, and then I'm like, why are you voting? We have a poll option now. I'm so happy they added that because it's such an easy thing to add. YouTube's ran by Google, and it's such an easy feature. Like, this is such an easy feature to add, and they finally added it. So that's phenomenal. I'm happy.
And no, Destrom and Java will not be unblocked. Everyone else is fine.
The People's Mix isn't even blocked.
Well, I mean, he has a fake account that way.
Yeah, but like, he's not blocked. He just posts on Kevin Reese's People's Mix. I mean, like, at this point, like, just let him post on People's Mix. He's not in here as much as he used to be, and he's not as obnoxious. But Destrom and Javo are permabanned. Okay? Destrom and Javo are permabanned. Those are 2 people that we will not unblock. Okay? Mm-hmm. So I guess everyone doesn't necessarily apply. Everyone, unless they've, like, said they wanted people to die. I think that's a pretty good, like, line to draw. If they've said they want people to die, then then they don't get unblocked.
Oh yeah, that's blocked. Shouldn't be unblocked either.
That's blocked.
He tried to burn our Minecraft.
Oh, yeah. He tried to burn our Minecraft. I was blanking on him for a second. Did he ever... He never came on... He never commented in chat, though, right?
No, he was in chat for a while. Yeah, he was... Yeah.
Yeah. If you've said you wanted somebody to die or you've tried to burn our Minecraft world, then it doesn't apply. All right? So... Trevin, dude, just stole my diamonds. If you ever want to game with us, I'm going to plug the gaming Discord. You got to be active to stay in it. If you're not active, you will likely get kicked. But we do game. We haven't really gamed much at all lately, so I'm trying to kind of bring it back a little bit. So if you want to join our gaming Discord, we used to play Among Us all the time. We haven't in months. We play a little bit of Minecraft. Me and Jackson and Jared were playing GeoGuessr last night, so we play various stuff. So if you want, to join our gaming Discord, there you go. If you're not active and in VC, because we use VC, that's how I've gotten to know some of y'all, then you could get kicked if you're, not active. Unless you say, yeah, I'm out of town for a whole week or something. We just want active people in there. So, that's basically that. So, as far as video ideas, which we haven't talked about, here's another channel thing. You have Ben, you've been in our Discord. You've gamed with us. You were one of the OGs that gamed with us. What do you mean? But, yeah, so anybody that was in our old gaming Discord, we made a new one just so, I can kind of kick the people that are inactive and hopefully try and revive it and just keep it, very active people in there. Or at least people that would hop in a lobby. VC is voice channel, for anybody who doesn't know. Good call, Zach. Tomorrow we're going to try and get an Among Us lobby. It's been a while, man. That was my game. That got me through some tough pandemic times. But it was also good to get to know some of y'all. Let's talk, if you want to move on from Discord, Eric.
Sure.
Let's talk. So, video ideas for September. I want to drop, and I want your guys' feedback on this and your feedback too, Eric, of course, because, I'm planning on dropping a top 100 player rankings to start September. There's not much news going on, and it could just be something to kill some time and just entertain you guys. I know it's kind of general NBA related, but I'm just going to post it on Blazers Uprise since it's much bigger. And we can get daily uploads rolling into the start of the season, which is good for the channel on YouTube. So I'm planning on doing it 91 to 100, 81 to 90, and going backwards like that. Then we'll do 6 to 10, and we'll do 1 to 5. And Reese, we can throw... What should I call it? Marv? Is that what you said you were calling it?
I like Marvel, but Marv works.
Marvel. We could throw Marvel. Each player's Marvel stat on the video, Reese. But it's just my own opinion. And maybe if you want to make your top 100 list, I could have a graphic with where you guys rank each guy. Some guys would, some of you would have them as not ranked or something. If you guys want to participate in that, Eric, you too, if you want to participate in that. If not, it's completely fine. But yeah, so the first 11 days of September, I'm going to do that. Thoughts, chat? You guys cool with that? Is that something you'd want? Thoughts, Eric?
Yeah, sounds cool. I'd be interested to see who's number 86 on your list.
Why 86?
I don't know, just kidding.
But yeah, I could have the mods and whatnot. That could be something cool. Mods, if you guys want to do it, let me know. Each one of you. I'll message you in mod chat. What's the criteria on how you rank the players? Just who I think is best.
It's Tory eye test.
Yes, with some statistical analysis as well. But yeah, so that will be through September 11th, and after that, I want to do a player preview. for each player on the roster, including Watford, including whoever's on a two-way. And that will get us all the way up, because it's like 17 players, so if you go from the 11th to like the 28th, the 28th is the start of training camp. So that would take us all the way up to the start of training camp. I will talk about what I want to see out of them this year, kind of something like one or two of their skills that will kind of be the biggest, or kind of the biggest X factors for them as players, how I want to see them used, maybe some statistical goals for them, and like areas of concern, and just basically just have like a 10-minute video where I'm just talking about one player and do a player preview. So I would start from the bottom of the roster, start like player 2021, I don't know what I'd name it, but just player preview, Trent and Watford, and then I do like Greg Brown, work all the way up to Damian Lillard. And could talk a lot about how I want to see them used by Chauncey. So I think that's a great video idea for September.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we get to the 28th, then we will be in training camp, and the first preseason game is 6 days after that. So we'll just base content around the preseason. Preseason post-game shows will be on... Should we do them on Blazers Uprise Live? There's only 4 games. What do you think, Eric?
I don't care either way.
I don't care either way, too. What do you guys think, chat? I'll post a poll. Our preseason post-game shows... Let me post another poll. How long do I have to wait to post? Okay, I had to wait 10 seconds. That'll be fun for Picks Against the Spread. Where should R... I said R as A-R-E. I can't grammar right now. You have no preference? Like, you're completely split? Because I am.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
Alright, there's your poll, chat. What did we do last year?
Well, one of the games I did solo.
Did you?
Yeah, and then...
Why?
That was my only solo stream. Because you didn't feel like doing it or something.
What? When have I ever not felt like doing a stream?
You said you didn't want to do preseason games or something last year.
Why? What?
I don't know.
Why did I say I didn't feel like doing
we definitely did them on this channel, though, I think.
Are you sure it wasn't? I didn't feel like doing like a...
Or maybe that
when
was
we
the
played
bubble. That was the bubble preseason thing, maybe.
Oh, yeah, I think that's what that was. Chad, do you remember what we did last year?
So...
Yeah. The bubble preseason games, yeah. Which I guess we could have done. I mean, why didn't we do... why did I not want to do bubble preseason? It's not like we had much to talk about. Like, we literally didn't have anything to talk about for 4 months before that.
I don't know. There was a couple, both preseason last year and the bubble pre-games or whatever. You were kind of... I don't know.
Depressed?
Not wanting to stream or something. I don't know.
I had pandemic depression, man. That's probably what it was. I was just like, man, I'm not going to stream until it matters. But yeah, we'll do preseason post-game shows for sure. Looks like Blazers Uprise Live is in the lead, 61% of the vote. But yeah, we have 82 games this year, which I'm happy about. I'm happy to have those extra 10 games. First preseason game, how many days until October 4th? Let me Google that. $46 days, Eric, until the first preseason game.
Nice.
I mean, that's right around the corner. Our season ended more than 46 days ago. We're more than halfway through. When did our season end? Like June 3rd? We finally got the chance to play basketball in June, and we barely did. Because we couldn't make it out of the first round. I think it was like June 3rd. How many days ago? Nope, 288 is wrong.
288.
So minus that from 365, I think, and that's 65, 75. That's 77 days. So we're like 2/3 through the off season, which is crazy because it feels like things finally just died down. Blazers Uprise making a comeback. We'll see if chat can bring that back. But Unmod Jackson. Yeah, good luck avoiding a 5-minute ban from Jackson with that hashtag. Mods, if anybody is...
Well, he said hashtag ban Zach.
Oh, I get it. If anybody comes in here dissing you, mods, you have free reign to do as you please. Jackson's the new kid on the block. Yeah, so picks against the spread next year will be fun. I'm trying to think. See, like, here, like, everything else is just, like, I gotta make... Oh, the other thing I was gonna ask. Yeah. Do you guys want me to... I'll create a... They're trying to bring back Blazers Uprise, so I can't create a new poll right now. I want to see if it comes back. I'll give you guys... Let's see. It's 11:35:47. I'll give you 70 seconds left on that poll. The other question, and I want your thoughts on this, Eric, is I can, for post-game graphics, I can do what I did for the playoffs. I can come up with something completely new. Or I could do it in the middle where, like, I come up with something new and compare it to the playoffs and see what it looks like and decide from there. Well, actually, let's just make it two options. I could keep the playoffs, or I could come up with something new and see if we could do that instead of the playoff graphics for post-game shows. Does that make sense? I worded that weird. Yeah. Does that make sense?
I mean, I like the post-game or the postseason ones, but also something new might be cool as well.
Or should I have, like, two different templates that I switch up to keep it fresh?
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. It's up to you. You're doing the work on it.
That's what I'll ask. Well, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't really know what I want to do, so I'll post a poll and ask chat. I can't talk. I'll ask chat that. Almost said I'll ask Chad that. Alright, it's 11:37. 51% voted Blazers Uprise Live. 49% voted Blazers Uprise. So, if you voted Blazers Uprise Live, if you didn't, yeah, see, now it's 50-50. Too late. So, you guys just truly, every one of you that voted Blazers Uprise Live got our preseason post-game shows here. So, power to the people. Goodbye, Eric. But I will post this poll for you guys. We'll have to figure out how long we want the picks against the spread polls to go for. Nope, I said till 11:37. We're doing on Blazers Uprise Live. What did we do last year, though? Where did we post them last year? So that man says he wants meringue. I would too if I were you. If you were me, you would not. I don't know how it's a 51-48 split. Rounding. Because it's probably 51 point... I'm not even going to do the math on that. It's probably just rounding. See you later, Eric. Appreciate it. But yeah, I said to 11:37, and 11:37 is 51% Blazers Uprise Live. So it's Blazers Uprise Live. Alright, now, post-game show graphics. Same graphics as playoffs, same graphics as regular season. Come up with new graphic template. Switch between playoffs / new graphics. Alright, there's your poll, chat. This is for post-game show, graphics. I could keep the same ones I did in the playoffs. I could keep the same ones I did in the regular season, but I think the playoffs were better than the regular season graphics, so I'd rather just do the playoffs. Could come up with a new graphic template and compare that to the playoffs template. and pick one of the two, or I could come up with a new template and like switch between that and the playoffs. But see, like, what would I switch? But like, how would I determine which graphics I use? That's also the question there. Hashtag mod polls. Should I ask chat who their favorite mod is? That's cruel. I couldn't do that. Eric says he'll be back. Looks like 32% same graphics as playoffs. So you guys really like those playoff graphics? Let me know what you thought about the playoff graphics in the comment section below. But since I'm paying Krish, you guys remember the like box score graphics that we did for other games with that template? I will just like give Krish all the templates since he's going to be my graphics guy, and it's obviously you. Yeah, anybody who stuck around, I'm just going to say it's you. People in chat were saying it was you. So, oh, you're saying it's obviously me as favorite mod. Well, you're the graphics guy. You're moderated, but you're not like a true mod. You know what I'm saying? We got 4 true mods, and then you're the true graphics guy. Reese, don't worry about it. If somebody's making graphics and you're buying the graphics from them, yes. Basically. I don't know why you'd ask that in chat, Reese. I'm kind of annoyed at you for that. But, nah, Krish is like 70 years old. But, yeah, so since Krish is helping me, which, if you don't follow Krish on Twitter, definitely go follow him. I don't know what his handle is. He changes it up all the time. He should just change it to Krish Graphics or whatnot, but his graphics are insane. Like, dude is phenomenal graphically. Like, dude is great. Much better graphically than I am. Like, much better in Photoshop than I am. Yeah, he'll be helping me. So, like, in terms of stuff like box scores of other games around the NBA, that will actually be a dedicated segment. Since the thing is like, streaming and making those graphics is a lot. Being able to... Like, if I was making those graphics without streaming, it takes like 5 minutes for a game. So, he'll just help us throughout the entire stream if he can. And if he isn't able to, then that's completely fine. We just won't do as much graphically. But we'll be able to kind of flip through games to do around the NBA and kind of be able to do more graphically on the post-game show. So that's why I said earlier in the stream, if you have ideas for sort of segments or graphics that you want to see on post-game shows, definitely DM me on Twitter or message me on Discord or email us blazersurprise@gmail.com. But yeah. Anyway, Ethan, you're going to get a 5-minute ban if you talk about EDP, my guy. But, yeah. So, looks like you guys want the same graphics as the playoffs. I'm glad you guys like those. I'm wondering if I should, like... I probably shouldn't tweak them. I don't know. Alvaro says, you had it on Blazers Uprise last year. That's why you made Blazers Uprise Live, since you didn't want to screw with the ad revenue algorithm. Last year, I had Blazers Uprise Live, though. I made Blazers Uprise Live in, like, April of 2020. I wonder what the first stream was. We had some pandemic streams with nobody in them on Blazers Uprise Live. Right when we just started the channel and nobody was subscribed, that was a tough time. Yeah, if you go back and look, there's like 200 views, 158 views. The thumbnails are horrible. The thumbnails were so bad. Oh, man. should I come up with a graphics package for Blazers Uprise Live, or like outside of picks against the spread, like maybe webcam borders or something? Or do you guys like the minimalistic feel of the Blazers Uprise Live streams? Because it's kind of a more laid back, chill thing. So maybe you guys will like, just the two webcams and that's all there is. Or do you guys want me to maybe do a webcam border or kind of add some graphics to Blazers Uprise Live? Obviously, we'll have the picks against the spread graphics, but beyond that, just when we're talking like this right now is what I'm talking about. Ernesto says, I joined the channel this past season. It's shocking you guys haven't been doing this for several seasons already. I thought you guys had been doing it for a while. Appreciate it, Ernesto. That means a lot. Me and Eric love basketball and study the game. So in terms of just like sitting down and talking about basketball, it's always been pretty easy for us. In terms of the graphics and whatnot, I kind of just dove in head first. And I mean, like, Chris is like better at Photoshop than me. So it's like, I don't know, like Chris is insane. But there's sort of a situation where I'm not saying I'm good. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying I'm like good at it, but I studied enough and kind of dove in and taught myself stuff that I'm able to do what I do. So yeah, this will be year 3. We've only done it 2 seasons. I did do YouTube the season before that, just making videos for True Blazer Fan, just doing analysis. The year before that, I had my own channel and I made videos and they got 20 views and they were all horrible. All right, we're not going to talk about it. I need to like take all those videos down because they're all like horrible. When I started doing YouTube, I was awkward. It was rough. I was so awkward. Shout out to you if you found me through True Blazer Fan. That means you are a true OG. Shervin, Caleb, Shanghai. I might do a poll on if we should give you a 5-minute ban or not. How about that? Looks like you guys want the same graphics as playoffs, so that's cool for me. I don't have to change anything up. That's the thing. After the playoffs, I was like, man, I like these graphics. I don't want to stop using them. So yeah, I'll just use them next year. Since 44% of you want to just do the same graphics as the playoffs, that's cool with me. Might have to, I don't know, the webcams behind it, just having the webcam side by side behind the graphics. Do you guys think that looks okay? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I made the channel on my birthday in 2019, May 30th. Actually, I might have made it the day before, but I think I announced it on my birthday. So, we've had the channel for 2 years, 3 months. Fuzzy Simpleton is an OG. He says, True Blazer Fan was where I first heard you. I was sad when you weren't able to use the highlights. Love this channel. Yeah, if you missed what I was talking about earlier, though, weekly, I plan on doing footage breakdown from the games that week. It'll probably be like a 7-8 minute video, kind of like the footage breakdowns I used to do on True Blazer Fan. Shout out to you if you remember those. If I miss an upload, I will give away $10. But the highlight footage breakdowns are going to be for channel members only. But like the base membership is like $2 a month. So $2 a month, you'll be able to watch the footage breakdowns. And that's why if I miss an upload, I'll give away $10 to channel members, since those footage breakdowns are for channel members. Yeah. Malcolm said, I thought Tori was black until Blazers Uprise. Oh, I don't know what to say to that. Shanghai, I don't speak in all caps, man. Tony Snell breakdown. Player previews in September. Reese is, like, I could do a video on Cody Zeller, Tony Snell. It's just, like, not big enough signings to do a video on, and I'm going to do a player preview talking about them. So in September, I will have videos on them a month from now. But that's the thing, not uploading and doing anything for the rest of August will allow me to get ahead on those videos that I plan on uploading in September. So I might start recording a player preview every 1 or 2 days, like starting now. Even though I'm not going to upload them until the second half of September, basically. Just to make sure I have that coming out daily at a consistent time, which will be dope. Ernesto says, if it hasn't been said already, Dame really repping Portland all over his album. Philly fans in shambles right now. Yeah, he ain't going anywhere. Me and Eric were always saying that. Everybody else was panicking. Everybody else was like, oh, wow, Olshey won't trade CJ for Ben Simmons. Like, dude, I mean, we've been on top of the ball as much as possible, in my opinion, the past 2 years. So when we said Dame ain't going anywhere, just trust us. Whenever push comes to shove, just trust us. And we're not always right, so you might trust us and we might be wrong. But given our track record, I don't see how you go elsewhere. The only way you go elsewhere is if you want to watch somebody just cry about Neil Olshey being the worst human to ever walk the face of the earth. Malcolm, I'm not sure that was referencing Jody Allen. That lyric. But I haven't listened to his album yet because we're streaming, so I will listen to it at some point. Schedule releases tomorrow. I will have a video on that. The way I plan on doing that video is I plan on taking every team from next year, projecting their record. I'll probably do it in tiers, which I've done this. This is going to be my 4th schedule breakdown. Because I did one with True Blazer Fan, and I've already done 2 with Blazers Uprise. So it'll be my 4th schedule breakdown. So if you remember the ones that I did in the past, this is what I've always done. For the teams that we play, well, it's every team. So for every team, I project a win-loss record for them, and then I do a strength of schedule breakdown based on my projected win-loss records. And normally the teams that are close, I kind of group into having the same record. So like Dallas and Portland, I'll give them the same record. It'll be probably like 48 and 34 or something like that. Even though I think Portland will be better than Dallas. Like Dallas, Portland. What other teams am I forgetting? I can't think of teams right now. But it'll be kind of tiered down. And I'll go over like the projected rankings. And the reason I do it tiered is because I plan on doing a Western Conference standings predictions at the start of October. And I don't want it to be like a dead giveaway. So that's why I do it like grouping teams together. And I'll be able to talk about which months are tough. I will have back-to-back. Like, I will have a spreadsheet with, like, back-to-backs, with how many stretches of 2 days off, strength of schedule for that month based on the prediction. So that's how I'll do the schedule breakdown tomorrow. Make sure you watch that if you want a good schedule breakdown. And you can kind of go back and reference that as we go through the season to kind of look at stretches of the schedule. Now, here's the thing. Like, I projected Atlanta to be bad last year. They ended up being the 5th seed. Same thing with New York. So it's not going to be like a perfect gauge of strength of schedule, but it will be good enough to kind of get a feel for which months are going to be tough, which months should be easy, and so forth. Thing is, last season I only was able to do a first half schedule breakdown because the second half wasn't released. I don't remember if I did one for the second half of the schedule. There's so many videos that I've made where I don't even remember recording it or doing anything on it. But as far as, let's talk about like in-season content. Let me know if you guys think this is a good idea, chat. I want to do a mailbag, but every other Monday. Because I feel like every Monday is a bit too often, and I get a lot of repeat questions. So I feel like a mailbag on the, on the first and third Monday each month is good. What do you guys think of that, chat? Maybe I should do a poll for that. Gotta wait for this one to finish up. Shanghai, YouTube won't even let you post links. Yeah, don't worry about it. But same graphics as the playoffs. Do you guys like bi-weekly, though? Where did my phone go? The chat on my computer is a little slower. Alright, let me just get chat on a browser. There we go. Wouldn't it be a good idea to have mailbags on non-live stream days? I don't see why it's better, you know? Because we'll be streaming in the season at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. So the plan would be to have the mailbag pre-recorded. And since we stream at like 3:30, normally we stream for an hour during the regular season on Blazers Uprise Live. We don't stream as long as like we've streamed tonight. We'll be off air at like 4:30 or 4:40, and then the mailbag will drop at 5. That is the plan for mailbags on Monday. But like I'm gonna be trying to upload 3 videos a week. During the season I always get away from doing videos. I just focus on streaming, and I just kind of forget to do videos. So this season I'm going to make an effort to really try and do that. At least the footage breakdowns, but then like 3 videos a week would be cool. I'm thinking about doing 1 mock draft a month on like the last Monday. I feel like in November and December I'll do better than leading right up to the draft, because those videos didn't do well, but I like doing mock drafts. So the last Monday in November we will have a bit of a feel for some of the prospects, because college basketball will be underway, so that could be fun. Every Saturday, maybe upload a stream clip. I don't know how you feel about that, chat. That's kind of something tentative. I've uploaded a few stream clips in the past, but it would be a way to get, a video out there on the main channel. Maybe a good clip, like the best clip from a stream that week, and then publish it. And then I am now able on post-game shows to save clips, like save the last 2 minutes of a stream. All I have to do is press one button on my keyboard and it saves the previous 2 minutes, and then I can easily like stitch them together. So it will be easier to do monthly stream highlights. So the December 1st, plan on doing November stream highlights. And I might miss some moments because I might forget to save them. And maybe I can have somebody help out with that, saving clips. But I should be able to do stream highlights, monthly stream highlights, because I've wanted to do that in the past, but it's like going over other streams and digging throughout those streams and trying to find stuff. Whereas this, I'll save it when it happens, good clips when it happens, and I'll be able to stitch them together and do monthly stream highlights. So that'll be something that's fun. Once a month, I want to do Blazers Pulse. Maybe on a Friday, in the middle of the month. That would be more often, but I created new graphics for them. I like it. I kind of want to use them more. Maybe even upload small clips from the stream onto Blazers Uprise Twitter. Yes, I will be looking for somebody who wants to help us with social media that will actually be consistent. And like something we don't have to like oversee, who will just like step up and help us. Because we've had people that, yeah, you can help us with social media, and then it's just like nothing. So Shanghai, you keep talking trash, and I will permaban you. You keep being weird. You're so weird, dude. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so if we can have somebody helping out with social media that's able to do that, just like, oh, I think this is a good clip for Twitter. And they had, like, we'd work with them for an easy way for them to save it and then upload it to Twitter. That'd be cool. Bonnie says, I like that you posted a pinned schedule on Twitter. Yeah, I might be able to do that again. The videos I'm talking about might change days, so I probably couldn't upload a video schedule, because I'm able to stick to streams better than I'm able to stick to videos. Malcolm, could you yes, you can message me. Why? Yeah, of course you can message me. But yeah, so for streams could do that. And maybe like games, I could. Here's the thing though, is like maybe I'll come out with a Blazers game schedule. I don't know. Here's the thing though, it's like during the season it's Mondays, Thursdays, we're streaming, and then after every game. During the off season, it was like we had like streams on weird days, and then we had big streams for the draft and the off season, and preview streams the night before, and some mock off season stuff like we had our mock off-season draft on a Friday, so that's why I made a schedule, because we were like moving around dates a lot. During the regular season, it's just Mondays, Thursdays, 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. Maybe a little bit earlier if we have a game at 4. And then after every game. So I don't know how much a schedule would help for the regular season as much as it did for the off season. But if you still want a schedule, could maybe try and figure out like how to do that. What's up, Eric? Hi. You've been listening, right?
Yep.
Anything you want to say to anything?
No. I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yep. Yeah, so that's kind of the content that I want to do in season. And then I'll have like maybe every Wednesday do a random video. It could be, I don't know, like one of those videos where I'm like just sitting and just kind of rambling about something that happened the past week. Because I know a lot of people like that. So every Wednesday I could try and do something like that. And maybe it wouldn't be a video like that. Maybe it'd be, covering something. But just based on something relevant that had happened. And then as we get towards the trade deadline, we'll do Trade Talk Tuesdays. And yeah, that's the plan for the season video content, which is much more than I've done. But I'll definitely be uploading more videos this season. Because I think there was like a 2-3 month span where I didn't upload a single video through the end of last season. So, but I hadn't like planned on uploading videos. So if I plan on uploading videos, should be able to get some of these out. And I will have video editing help too, in case I need it. So it should be easier. Anyway. You want to talk about the Simmons article now, Eric, since you're back, and wrap up the stream?
Sure. Let's do it.
Since Go Niners 05 is asking about it. I mean, Go Blazers 05, my bad. Anyway, yeah, so that article was by somebody that's, like, not really reputable, but it makes a lot of sense. I had to post the tweet where I was just, having some fun on Twitter, Always take Twitter with a grain of salt from anybody. Twitter is just Twitter. But... So, you want to talk about it? You set things up, Eric. You're fresh.
All right.
You had a break, so you're fresh.
Yeah, there was this post on Twitter that says "huge update by H.I." and
very reputable source, better than most.
Yeah, so a bunch of people asked who it was, and he responded one time saying "Hawks Forum Insider." I have no idea who that is or what this is. However, pretty much everything in here makes sense for the most part. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows? It's probably not true, but it's still fun to read rumors and stuff like this because even if they're just loosely based on reality, because there was a ton of nuggets in here. It starts off by saying Hawks talk draft trades that almost happened or didn't. Cam Reddish, Ben Simmons, Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal, and what big move could be on the horizon. And it starts talking about the draft. Toronto tried to move down with OKC, but they wanted a ton of future picks to do it, and OKC ended up thinking they wanted too much. OKC tried very hard to move into the top 3, but didn't have the capital any team wanted to do.
Wait, what? Why would... Okay, Jalen Suggs would be perfect next to SGA. I'm just going to say that now. They should have been willing to, trade up for 4 if they were willing to trade up for the top 3. I don't know. I know the top 3 is better, but, Jalen Suggs would have been perfect next to SGA. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that they were asking for 5 first or something, who knows.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
But yeah, OKC to try to move up in the top 3. Golden State and Atlanta were really close on a Cam Reddish and 20 for number 7 trade.
Who was that?
Golden State and Atlanta were close on Cam Reddish and 20 for 7.
That's insane, bro. That would be Golden State getting fleeced.
Well, it says Steph requested that they take a serious look at Cam Reddish, and Golden State was close to pulling the trigger, but financial reasons is why they didn't in the end, according to this
I
article.
wish they pulled that trigger because Atlanta got Jalen Johnson at 20.
Yeah. Well,
Actually, that would actually make it better for Golden State, I guess. But still, Kuminga at 7.
It did say that Atlanta was trying to get Kuminga.
Yeah, which makes sense.
So apparently Cam Reddish was offered officially to 2 teams. One was that trade we just talked about. The other was in a package to Philly for Ben Simmons. I don't know if I believe that.
Cameron Reddish is getting overrated, dude. I am not understanding this. Last season, he shot 36% from the field and 26% from 3.
Apparently, according to this dude, the Hawks called Philadelphia and offered Reddish and Gallo with no draft picks or any other assets, and said that was their final offer. Oh, that's hilarious. And then Philadelphia said that wasn't even close. Because they saw firsthand how crappy Simmons was in the playoffs, so they just tried to get him.
That's funny. I mean, that's possible. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Everybody loves Cam Reddish apparently, so. That's funny.
Atlanta got 2 offers serious from Cleveland and Detroit, but Atlanta wanted a very lightly protected 2022 first, and neither of them wanted to do that. Atlanta tried to move up with 9, targeting Josh Primo, which is crazy. But we did hear
Wait, who was targeting Josh Primo at 9?
Atlanta was trying to move up to 9 to take Josh Primo.
Everybody loved Josh Primo. He was going to go in the teens, according to other reports. His draft stock was secretly a lot higher than people realized. So we were shocked when San Antonio took him at 12. But it sounds like they couldn't find a spot to trade down where they were still going to likely get him. Mm-hmm. So that's why they just took him at 12. And it sounds Atlanta at 9, bro. I don't.
Yeah.
Josh Primo got so insanely overrated. I had him 40th on my freaking big board, and he goes 12th, man. I did not think he was a top 30 player in this draft, and I still don't. How did he do in Summer League? Do you know?
I think he did okay. I don't know.
A lot of people did really good, though.
Yeah.
So
apparently their offer was 20, the OKC first in 2022, which I believe is top 20 protected, so it probably turns into seconds, and then a protected 2022 first. So it really looks like 3 firsts, but it would have ended up being 2 firsts and some seconds. And Sacramento declined, and then Atlanta had the same offer out there for Charlotte at 11. And Charlotte accepted the offer pending their guy still being on the board or not. And when Book Night fell to them, they declined the trade. And then Atlanta also tried to move up from 20 to 16 to take Şengün. But
what'd you call him? Şengün?
Şengün, yeah.
You said Şengün?
Şengün, I think I said.
There's another one, Chad.
So they tried to do 20 and a future first, but was outbid by Houston, who traded 2 future first. This is where it gets really interesting. So it said Sacramento offered number 9 Harrison Barnes and Tyrese Halliburton for Ben Simmons, and Philadelphia declined. That would have made things very interesting, because at 9, Philadelphia could have gotten Book Night or Davion Mitchell or someone like that. And I really Halliburton and Maxey would be a really intriguing backcourt of the future. And he still has Curry.
Halliburton, honestly, next year, I think the Sixers would be better with Halliburton than with Ben Simmons. I'm not saying Simmons ain't better than Halliburton, but given like the roster construction,
Yeah, I think
I love Halliburton though.
Yeah. I think that trade would have been a home run for Philadelphia.
It absolutely would have.
And yeah, like they could have gotten Mitchell, and then they would have had a backcourt of Maxey, Curry, Halliburton, and Mitchell. And then yeah,
I feel like they probably don't go Mitchell there. Who was taken 10th?
10th was the Stanford guy.
Zaire Williams would have been a good pick for them if they wanted a 3. But like yeah, Davion Mitchell and Tyrese Maxey
And then you got Barnes and Harris in the front court with Embiid still. Yeah, that team I think is better than their team last year. But yeah, so they declined it apparently.
Philadelphia. Daryl Morey sucks. I never want to hear anybody say he's good ever again. And we'll get into more reasons why.
Who knows if this is true, but this backs up that he says Sacramento was the most aggressive on the Ben Simmons front, which is what I was hearing around the draft time as well.
If I was Sacramento, and if you really wanted Simmons, I would have probably offered De'Aaron Fox before I offered Halliburton.
I mean, yeah, maybe, but
because I think Halliburton is great. Like
that was the rumor that Philadelphia asked for Fox and the 4 first or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's just ridiculous. So, yeah. Like Halliburton would be better playing off like next to Simmons than I think Fox would be, because Fox is kind of a guy that needs the ball in his hands more, and Simmons is definitely that guy. So would probably want your guy. I don't know. Like I love Halliburton.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm overrating him a little bit, but I mean, as a rookie, he was phenomenal.
I love Halliburton too. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Charlotte was interested in trading down if their guy wasn't available, but he was, so they took him. Indiana had a bunch of offers for 13, but they were also putting out fake rumors for the quality of the offers to try and get more. It says Golden State did offer 14 and Poole for 13, which they declined. According to this, they never offered multiple firsts like it was rumored Golden State did.
Yeah, I don't see how you'd pass up 13 for 14 and multiple firsts.
Yeah.
Especially with Moody on the board.
Yeah. And then OKC had a bunch of offers for 16. Shengun. And then Houston was the only one who met their demands of 2 future firsts.
Shengun and Poku, man, that would have been interesting.
The Knicks tried to move up with Charlotte and Sacramento, but as Atlanta experienced, the cost was way too high with Sacramento, and Charlotte was tough because they wanted assets galore and Bouknight slid. This turned the Knicks into sellers for their picks instead of trying to move up. So they felt like they could get value in the late first, early second, which they did, and I thought they had a pretty good draft.
Yeah.
He says, that's it on the draft. I did find out why Sharif Cooper fell. It was an extremely deep point guard class, and many felt he was too raw and he might be too much of a risk. That said, many felt this point guard class in general was extremely deep. Coop was hurt by not playing in the combine, and that's what he was told.
That's basically what I said in one of my mock drafts.
Yeah.
So I kind of called that.
Yeah. So now we get into the juicy trade stuff where Portland starts to get mentioned in a minute. Ben Simmons. Simmons was aggressively pursued by Sacramento, Minnesota, Cleveland, Toronto, Atlanta, Portland, and the Lakers. Before they landed Westbrook. This is before they got Westbrook, I guess. But yeah. His market seems to be dying. Simmons wants out. All of this market talk is BS. He is open to going to Cleveland. Yes, Cleveland. Philadelphia sees his value as Harden, and everyone sees his value was top 50 player, more so in the range of what Porzingis pulled when he was traded from New York to Dallas.
He's definitely closer to Porzingis than Harden.
Yeah. Apparently, Sacramento still has an offer out there of Halliburton, Barnes, and a 2022 first.
If Ben Simmons really wants out that bad, then that could be the trade.
Yeah.
And if that happens, then we know everything this guy's saying is legit.
Yeah. Sacramento sees him as a versatile small forward who has obvious flaws, but they think he can get them into the playoffs. Minnesota had the most asset-rich offer. He did not know if Minnesota is still in the Simmons market, though. They offered... wait, what? This is not an asset-rich offer. It says Rubio, Culver, a pick swap, and multiple lightly protected firsts. I guess it could have been 4 firsts or something.
Yeah. Instead, they traded Culver for Pat Beverly.
This was what teams felt was by far the best offer for Simmons. I mean, it could still be Beverly and other players and picks still. It could be Beverly and Beasley match, I think, and then multiple firsts. I don't know why Philadelphia would necessarily do that, but Philadelphia passed and said they needed Cat or Edwards in the trade. Cat or Edwards and D'Angelo Russell in the trade. Minnesota quickly declined the altered package. Minnesota saw Simmons as a power forward. That'd be a nice fit next to Cat as part of the Russell Edwards Cat core. But yeah, I don't know if that's still offered.
Bro, Daryl Morey is so overrated.
Yeah.
That's some of my takeaways from this. Keep going.
Cleveland offered a quickly declined package, but teams thought it was fair. They offered Nance, Prince, and Sexton with protected firsts for Simmons.
Nance, who, and Sexton?
Prince and Sexton.
Yeah, I don't like Sexton.
Yeah. Ability to get 2 good players like Nance and Sexton, as well as a lightly protected first, was highly valued from people around the league. But Philadelphia declined and said they needed number 3 overall for starters. The conversation was short.
Bro, Nance, honestly, Nance could play a bit of the Ben Simmons role and can also shoot.
Yeah.
Like, Nance is a very underrated defender. Like, was leading the league in deflections at one point last year. Averaged, like, almost 2 steals per 36. Can guard multiple positions. Shot 34% from 3. You know, not great, but not terrible. I think it was, like, 34%. Somewhere in that range. And averaged, like, 3 assists per game. Like, it's not Ben Simmons, but you don't need a power forward to average 7 assists per game. You just need one that can maybe playmake a little bit. Like, if you want to have one. And Nance could have been that. So if you also get back Sexton and a future pick, like, should have taken it for as much as I'm kind of on Colin Sexton. Like, he could have been your perimeter guy who can create some shots.
Yeah, I'd still take the Sacramento offer over any of these so far.
Like, these are good packages, man. Like, if Ben Simmons really does not want to be there, like...
Yeah. So, get this. Toronto apparently offered Fred VanVleet, OG, and a new boy, and a 2022 protected first for Simmons.
This is the one trade that I don't believe the most.
Yeah. I mean,
what, they want to have
fair value, but it's like hilarious from Toronto's perspective.
What, they want to have Ben Simmons, Scotty Barnes, and Pascal Siakam?
Yeah. With Gary Trent.
I mean, actually, they did say that, like, well, we just want positionless basketball, a bunch of big athletes that can play. Like, they kind of said that, so maybe, but...
I think it would be, they maybe take Suggs instead of Barnes there, maybe, if this was before the draft. It could have changed who they picked.
Mean, they should have taken Suggs regardless.
Yeah, well, that's true. But yeah, that's a lot of playmaking, I guess. And then you have a shooter in Trent and Boucher.
I mean, you just get 2 more guys like that, and you have, 5 guys that can guard maybe 1 through 5 and can all handle the ball, and, like, none of them are good shooters. That would be extremely interesting to watch. I would watch them consistently, because that could be a really good team. That could be a really terrible team.
But, man, from Philadelphia's perspective, you got VanVleet, Curry, and Maxey, and then you have OG, Harris, Embiid. You still have Thibault.
Would you take that one over the sack package?
It would be
I'm never going to
close.
say that again.
Um, I want to see the medicals on OG if I felt comfortable about him.
Yeah.
I think he's better than anyone right now in that Sacramento trade. So I probably would have done that. Just because defensively that team would have been really tough. But yeah, I don't know. That's pretty close to me.
But, like, OG going into year 5 compared to Halliburton going into year 2. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, OG was nice last year. 33 minutes per game, 16 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 48% from the field, 40% from 3, and is a phenomenal defender.
Yeah, I think he was like the best perimeter defender according to analytics.
Yeah. Defensive box plus minus doesn't like him defensively. They say he's a 0.3. But that's a trash stat.
Yeah, then it talks about Atlanta again. Philadelphia wanted Cam, Hunter, Okongwu, and picks. Atlanta saw Simmons as a Lamar Odom type, a generational sixth man. That's hilarious. But they weren't willing.
Who'd you say said that? That's so
the
funny.
Hawks. But they weren't willing to like give up assets to make it happen. So
he probably wouldn't have started for them. DeAndre Hunter and John Collins, I would start over Ben Simmons for them.
Yep. Okay, so now here's Portland's part of it. Portland wanted Simmons for anyone on their roster not named Lillard or Rocco. Everyone else and their assets were fair game. Obviously, that was not appealing. Philadelphia wanted to talk only about Lillard, which Portland had no interest in moving unless they can get Embiid. But I don't know about that part. But
I don't trust that. I feel like... Yeah.
I think that's just misinformation. These two are miles apart. Don't think if Lillard asked out that Philadelphia would even have a chance because they don't. They are rubbing each other the wrong way. Portland is still interested in Simmons, but not for Lillard.
Of course not. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like,
which I completely
Maury was
agree.
probably like...
Thank you, yeah, thank you.
Maury was probably like, yeah, we'll give you Ben Simmons straight up for Damian Lillard. That's the most we're going to offer you.
Mm-hmm.
Given how highly they value him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if they think Simmons is Harden, then they probably didn't even add anything on top of Simmons for Lillard.
Right.
Terrible. Go on.
But yeah, they could have had CJ Nurk and like as many picks as they want. According to, which I wouldn't do, but
I'd be very frustrated at Olshey. But here's the thing: Nurkic doesn't fit next to Ben Simmons.
Right. Yeah, but that's why he was. Yeah.
I don't know.
But he doesn't fit. He doesn't fit with Philadelphia either.
But it's like also a situation where it's like if you're negotiating your Olshey, you're like, that's probably what I could see him telling him that. Like anybody outside of Dame and Rocco, because I think the idea would be like Rocco would be a great forward defender next to Simmons,
right?
Because Simmons can guard on the ball, and then Rocco could be elite off the ball.
Because if you have Lillard, Norm, Simmons and Rocco, and then plug and play a center. Yeah, that's solid.
Or you wanted to plug him, or you wanted to plug and play like a 3 or something, and play like Ben Simmons as a small ball center, and like Rocco can handle the small ball center, and maybe that was the route. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. But like I could see him offering CJ and Nurkic.
Mm-hmm. And then LA called and offered, but was quickly declined before the Russ deal was done. And they asked if they would care for Dennis in the future for free agency, but Philadelphia didn't want Dennis Schroder. The teams most interested in Simmons were non-playoff teams. The playoff teams didn't want him outside of Atlanta, who wants to use him as a sixth man. The non-playoff teams wanted him, but they don't have what Philadelphia wants.
Portland's not a non-playoff team.
He doesn't mention Portland in this paragraph, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Philadelphia is overplaying their hand and will end up with less than what the Knicks got for KP when it's all said and done, according to this guy's source.
The Knicks got 2 future firsts and what else? What else did they get for KP?
It was all expiring, so it was, or they got Dennis Smith Jr. And expirings like Wes Matthews and DeAndre Jordan's huge contracts to match.
Yeah, so basically just they got 2 firsts for Porzingis.
They gave up expirings and they took on like Tim Hardaway and a bunch of players that had multiple years left, so the Knicks could get cap space, and then they blew their cap space. All right, and then
but they are a playoff team somehow.
So before I get to the Dame Lillard part, so Bradley Beal says while he would like them to make one more move, he was happy with the moves they made over the summer and is highly likely to re-sign for the Supermax. So that's another thing to look out for to see if this is correct. The biggest move...
Hold on. Do you think Washington got better? I want your opinion on this.
I think
they traded out... Yeah, they traded out Russ. They brought in Dinwiddie, Harrell, KCP, Kuzma. Rui is maybe most improved player next year. He has a chance of being having a breakout year.
Gafford.
Yeah,
they're solid.
Should be their starting center.
They still have Bertans. Yeah, I mean, they've got a pretty solid team. I don't know. Their upside, maybe if all those pieces fit together, but I don't know. That's a big if. So I'd say they're about the same. I don't think they got significantly better. Kind of like
they need another star. If they got another star, then maybe you could be talking. But they also have a new coach, so maybe he's better than Scott Brooks. That could be a sleeper team next year. Yeah.
As far as last part about Simmons is the biggest move I'm hearing is Cleveland, Minnesota, or Sacramento during the preseason or early part of the season. That's what Ben's team is working on, and Philadelphia knows time is not in their favor. The longer they don't see Lillard asking out, the less assumed leverage they have. Everyone thinks Simmons will be moved sooner than later as Simmons is done with Philly. All right, and then the Dame Lillard part. And this, I mean, this is probably a bit of wishful thinking because I want this to be true, but this also matches everything I've ever said about Dame. So he still wants to see changes, but there really isn't much other than what they have to offer, or there isn't much out there for what they have to offer. Dame is hoping they can eventually get a second star, but knows that's easier said than done. From what I was told, he's not going to ask out since Portland's front office is extremely transparent with him.
So he's not going to ask out because Neil Olshey is doing a good job of handling the situation, is what that's saying, which goes against what
if
every
it's
other...
true, yes.
Yeah. I mean,
and this backs up that I guarantee you there has been trades, say CJ for Tobias Harris type trades, where Olshey will say, look, if you want to play with someone different, here's the trade offer. Here's what we can get for CJ. What do you say? And Dame's smart enough to know that if he declines that or says, no, I'd rather roll with CJ, he's my guy, that's not on Olshey for not getting a deal done, right? So I'm not saying that's the trade or whatever, but it could have been also, the rumor was that Toronto wanted Nurkic and CJ and other stuff, so it could have been that Dame also didn't want to include Nurk in a trade for Siakam. Like, he wanted Siakam, but not if Nurk had to be involved and stuff like that. So I think if this is true, as what it's saying is that Dame does want the team to make a big trade or make a big splash and get better, but he also isn't stupid. He knows that that's, like, you can't just do it, say you're going to do it and do it, or you can't demand that a team does it and make it happen if other teams aren't willing to make trades or, like, the right fit doesn't come along.
Yep. I'm still hopeful for Siakam at the deadline if Toronto's having a bad year and it's just like, all right, let's move off him. Especially if CJ can have a really good season and raise his trade value. So that'll still be a thing. A lot of the targets we talked about this offseason will be talked about as we head towards the trade deadline. But as far as that article, or as far as that stuff goes, I mean, paint Solskjaer in a good light.
Lillard has a lot of suitors, it says. New York, New Orleans, Golden State, Denver, and Minnesota. Denver, that's weird. Are all interested and willing to pay a massive pay to get him. As I said with Philadelphia, these two don't see each other as a trade fit. Portland would love Simmons with their current core, but Philadelphia hates their pieces outside of Lillard. And Portland doesn't see Simmons being a centerpiece for Lillard at all, in capital letters, at all, which is good. So it's unlikely Lillard is leaving Portland, is the latest info he had received.
Dame's not going nowhere, man. Like, I've been saying it, and I've still said it. Like, Dame ain't going anywhere, at least this offseason. Like, it's... You have all these people that love to speculate on the surface and absolutely despise Olshey, and it's almost like they want to see Dame leave so that they can hate on Olshey, and they're caught up in their feelings. And they're not thinking logically about anything. It's like, oh, how can I hate on Olshey today? And it's just absolute crap coverage. And if this is true, which, take this all with a grain of salt, of course. I don't know if he's done this before and he's, been right on stuff, and that's why it's, looked at as legitimate wherever he's posting this, whoever this is. But, you do have people that, have some sources, they just don't have a platform or anything, so it very well could be true. So, if this is true, you just look at the people that were, thinking that Olshey would rather trade Dame instead of CJ because he wants to build around his draft pick.
Because we could have CJ and Simmons, and I think that would have been... If you wanted to build around CJ, I think Simmons and CJ makes sense. I don't know, but... I don't want that. That's not what I'm saying. But, if you were trying to make the perfect team around CJ, then that might be your best shot at doing that in a timely manner, but...
Yeah, it's just it just never logically made any sort of sense. I'm not even going to sit here and argue it with logic because it was so illogical from the get-go that, Dame wasn't truly his pick. The people that were there before Olshey came, they wanted Dame. So then when Olshey came, they drafted Dame. It wasn't Olshey's guy, but CJ, that was Olshey's guy. So Olshey, 8 years later, would rather trade Damian Lillard than CJ McCollum. Mm-hmm. If this is true, you know how absolutely stupid all that looks? It already looks absolutely stupid, but it proves all that is just absolutely stupid and it's inarguable. Okay? You know who put that out there as a thought, and he phrased it in a way where it was he could walk back from it and he was well, maybe Olshey wants to trade Dame instead of CJ. He kind of started some of that talk. You know who that was? It was Sean Highkin, who his contemporary, appear in the media. And Mike Richmond has basically admitted that Sean Eichen has personal feelings against Neil Olshey because Neil wasn't nice to him in the past. That's exactly what I'm talking about, man.
That's proprietary, Sean.
Yeah, it's people analyzing things based off feelings instead of logic. Because logically, I don't know how you're a logical person and you come to that conclusion. Because it's never been logical. It was so illogical. It's just literally Sean Highkin being in his feelings, despising Olshey. Mike Richmond basically admitted it. It's pure in the media. And he's basically just creating and crafting narratives off of it because he doesn't like Neil Olshey personally. And it's not logical. That's what I tweeted out earlier about this article. And it might not be true. But, that's the problem with a lot of these guys. All their analysis is based off of, I like this guy. It's, based off the feeling. It's not based off logical thought. It's not based off breaking it down. It's based on, okay, what have I said about this guy in the past? I said I liked Stotts. So, Dame cannot throw lobs. And every time Dame throws a lob that doesn't connect, I'm going to tweet about it to make sure people know that Dame can't throw lobs so that I look like I was right. Mm-hmm. And y'all know who I'm talking about on that if you're on Twitter. It's it's stuff like that. It's we have before the season, it's Olshey put together a pretty good offseason. Now it's it's up to Stotts to get this team playing better defense. And then we're 29th on defense and people are sitting there man, Olshey doesn't know how to put together a defensive roster.
Roster imbalance.
It's Dame and CJ. They just can't coexist. But it was just as bad when we had Dame and Gary Trent Jr. And all those guys were saying, it's not Stotts' fault. He doesn't have CJ. It's just, it's so blatantly dumb. And it's always been dumb. And it's just like, I don't know, like, we pay enough attention to just sit here and just laugh from afar, like, these guys are so absolutely ridiculous. And I know a lot of you guys see it, but there's so many people that don't realize how ridiculous some of these people are. And I don't know, like, who's been on top of things the last 2 years? That's all I'm going to ask, man, because it hasn't been the people thinking that Olshey would trade Dame instead of CJ because he loves CJ more.
Yeah. I don't get that at all. And, man, the dumbest thing ever is that the groundwork had already been placed when Olshey was hired, and they were going to take Dame no matter what.
It's just random speculation.
Olshey was
made
the
up.
GM of the Los Angeles Clippers with Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, JJ Redick, that whole team. He left that team to become the GM of the Blazers. Why would he do that if he was not allowed to even make his own draft pick with the picks that the team had in the upcoming draft? And also, on top of that, he was a GM for several years prior to that. So he would have been just as involved with scouting and knowing the prospects and stuff like that as anyone in the Blazers front office as well. He would have been doing the research from the Clippers' point of view. So it's not just that he came in with no idea about any of these prospects or whatever. He was an NBA GM. He had been scouting these guys for years, just like any GM would. So it's funny that people say like it didn't come in. And on top of all that, Olshey was at the workout. Paul Allen was at the workout where they both fell in love with Damian Lillard. They were both there, and the love for that happened that day at that workout. It was not prior to that. Yes, he was on their radar. I know for 100% fact that he wasn't really on their radar that much prior to him blowing up in workouts right before the draft. And I know that because the head scout and the interim GM at the time, I listened to a conversation poolside with him just a few weeks prior where they were discussing the entire draft and their process and stuff, and Damian Lillard's name didn't even come up one time. So, and then I had a couple-hour conversation with him about that afterwards, and not about Damian Lillard, but just about him and how he became a GM and scout and all that kind of stuff. So I know for a fact that's almost all bull crap. And yeah, so it's just funny to me that people think that that's like for sure how it went down. That Olshey comes in and they're like, nope, you have to draft Damian Lillard if you sign here or whatever.
Yeah, like, it's already BS, but, like, for that narrative to work, it would have had to be where Olshey didn't want Damian Lillard, because, like, if he comes in and is like, we're drafting Dame, and Olshey's like, yeah, I want him too, let's draft him, then Dame is Olshey's guy too, because Olshey also wanted him. So for that narrative to even work from the get-go, people were basically saying, yeah, Olshey didn't want Dame. Like, that's just completely made up, and this is what I'm talking about, where it's like, you can criticize Olshey for real things, but so many people love to just randomly make stuff up, and that's one of those narratives where it's like, Olshey wants to keep, like, it's basically, Olshey wants to keep CJ over Dame because he didn't want Dame in the 2012 draft. That's basically what that narrative is. Yeah, they're not saying he didn't want Dame, but for that narrative to even work, it would have had to be a situation where Olshey didn't even want him. So you know how ridiculous that sounds to say, he would rather have CJ because he didn't want Dame in the first place. What? Like, that's what we're saying? And it's people that have platforms that cover the team that are saying that stuff, that are crafting those narratives. It's all ridiculous.
Well, here's the deal. Yeah. If you're hiring a GM a few weeks before the draft, wouldn't that be, like, the main focus? You have the 6th and 11th pick in the upcoming draft. You know that already when you hire him, right? So wouldn't that be like your first question to him in the interview? Like, what would be your direction? We have 2 picks in this draft. And if he says, oh, I want to draft Kendall Marshall and Terrence Ross or something.
Yeah.
Like that's who I'm hoping to get. And you'd be like, okay, nice talking with you. We'll be in touch, and then never call him again, right?
Yep.
If that's truly who you are. But if he's like, dude, there's this guy, Damian Lillard, he's the next good point guard, and it's like, okay, you're hired or whatever. And if it went down any other way, if they truly were that high on Dame, Olshey would have had to prove that he was also in love with Dame in that interview. But like I said, in the interviews, they weren't set on anyone. They do scout. This is the other thing. Scouts give suggestions. They don't draft or tell the GM who to draft. The GM gets to make the decision, and the owner makes the decision. So, like the scouts can say, "Here's all this information. We think Damian Lillard should be the choice here, or whatever." But ultimately, that is on the GM and the owner to make those decisions. And right now, it's just on the GM because the owner basically, she's not really involved in the personnel part of it. She has to. She's okayed almost every move, but so it wouldn't make sense one for Olshey to take the job if he wasn't allowed to pick number 6, and it also wouldn't make sense if they hired him knowing that he didn't want to take Dame. So that stuff would have all been sorted out.
Create internal strife from the get-go. Yeah. Like, that's what they were looking for.
Right. And it's just like the made-up strife now,
Oh, my goodness. It's like, the thing is, Dame hadn't even had his workout yet when they hired him.
Exactly.
And then it's like he's watching with Paul Allen, who, like, they are the two people that make the choice, and they're watching his workout, and people think, like, Paul Allen's like, yeah, we're drafting this guy, and Olshey's like, no, I don't want him. He's not. No, he had a phenomenal workout. Yes, of course. Like, Paul Allen and Neil Olshey both watched that workout. And he had a phenomenal workout. And he was at a position of need.
Yep.
And now it's like, everybody's like, oh, Olshey loves his small score-first guards from a mid-major college. But apparently he didn't want Damian Lillard. That's the narrative we're going to go with. Well, it's just so stupid.
Also, Dame, it's rumored that he had one of the best workouts of all time for Sacramento. So what if they take him 5? So what? Then all of a sudden it would have been our pick, or would have been Olshey's pick if he took Thomas Robinson or.
Well, like, or people aren't saying Myers. People blame him for the Myers Leonard pick sometimes. So.
Yeah, exactly. They always mention Myers Leonard being a horrible pick, but that was the same draft. So if you.
But that was his pick.
If you want to say that 6 wasn't his, then you can't say that 11 was his, and that it just doesn't make any sense. Just use common sense, people. That's all that you have to do.
It just goes back to people despising Olshey and trying to create narratives to fit their how much they despise him, man. I mean, and it's going to continue to be a thing. Hopefully, we have a good year next year. There's your guys.
That was a fun little tidbit. I said, I don't know how much of any of that was true, but I enjoy reading stuff like that, even if it's completely false, just because it's fun to hear little rumors. And then if you hear about like, because this will be more so than any other time, because there was a rumor we had a trade in place with Washington for Otto Porter Jr. at the trade deadline a few years ago, and we had a lot of our package involved players that still had 2 years left on their contract, and at the last minute, Chicago swoops in and offers basically the same trade, only with expiring contracts, or a player like Jabari Parker, who has a team option for the next year. So you hear about rumors like that for trades later, but if we hear like Portland turned down CJ and 2 firsts for Siakam straight up or something like that, then I will be absolutely furious and stuff like that. But as long as it's like reasonable things, like everything in this trade, I completely agree with that. If Philadelphia isn't willing to listen to anything other than Dame, then you say, no, we're not talking to you. And I agree that relationship should be bad then if they're not willing to budge on that,
Yeah, I mean, but like it seems like Toronto wasn't even actually shopping Siakam. Like it sounds like Toronto was listening to offers on Siakam, but not like actively trying to trade him. Like, they were listening to offers in case somebody came through and was like, with a phenomenal package. So, like, yeah, I feel like Portland contacted them, and they were like, yeah, we'll think about it for CJ Nurkic in 2 or 3 firsts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at that point, you're saying no.
Which validates the other rumors we heard, whereas, because everyone panicked when they said, or, like, freaked out when, Olshey's overvaluing CJ in the trade. Well, it's probably because Toronto was overvaluing Siakam, and they don't really need CJ that badly to want to use him as like a huge asset or not give up many other assets in a trade. But,
yeah, here's one more thing I don't get about people. It's like they always say Olshey overvalues CJ, but then they never think that another GM will overvalue their player.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Olshey, stop overvaluing CJ. Go trade him for Siakam. Go trade him for Ben Simmons. It's like, wait, so if Olshey's overvaluing CJ, you don't think like that Morey might overvalue Ben Simmons and Ujiri might overvalue Siakam? I would say most GMs in the league overvalue their assets, overvalue their players. Like, that's pretty typical. Like, the GMs and teams aren't just looking to just like, oh yeah, let's just do this trade for the sake of it. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. It's like you have, like, Olshey probably values CJ more than other teams do. And Toronto probably values Siakam more than other teams do. And Philadelphia definitely values Ben Simmons more than other teams do. So that's the thing. If that's the case, you're not going to find a trade if you're valuing what you're giving up more than what you're getting back. And both teams in the trade are thinking along those lines.
Unless you just bite the bullet and overpay like Milwaukee did for Drew. And I guess you could say that worked out. But
yeah, but like... I don't know, but see, that's the thing is with that trade is Milwaukee's giving up a bunch of future firsts for a win now piece,
right?
And New Orleans is going younger with a bunch of future firsts. That is easier to sort out than like a star for star trade or like a star for a fringe all-star trade.
Yeah,
because both teams are going after the same thing. They're going after a player to help them win.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, Philadelphia wasn't going after a player to help them win. Now they're going after picks, and Milwaukee was going after the player to help them win now. So those trades are easier.
New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans. Did I say Dallas?
You said Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, yeah, whatever. But, yeah, so that's the thing. Is like, it's not often that a high-caliber player gets traded for a high-caliber player. When was the last time that happened?
Yeah,
Chat, maybe you know? Like, it's hard to think of.
Westbrook for Chris Paul. But there was assets attached
but like,
there too. Yeah.
But like OKC was trying to go younger with picks. You know what I mean? Like, two teams that were trying to win. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess like
they're both rookies though. But...
yeah, like two teams that were trying to make the playoffs the next year.
Wiggins and Diallo. I mean, Minnesota was terrible, but
yeah, I don't. Well, see, neither of those guys are even fringe all-stars, so that's two role players in my opinion. I don't like Diallo.
That's why, for me, it comes back to like the Jeremy Grant types.
Yeah.
Because he's on a team where you would think that they would value like picks and stuff, but they probably wouldn't want CJ then, so you still have to find a third team, so it's not like a straight trade. I don't know.
Yep. Anyway, this has been a really long stream. Anything else you want to touch on?
No, thank you everyone for watching, and sorry we're not streaming next week, but
just the 1 week off, only one of the year.
Everyone gets a break, so...
enjoy your week next week without us. We'll be live again Monday the 30th. August 30th is when our next stream is, and then we'll stream that week. We will have our fantasy football draft stream most likely on Sunday the 5th. We'll have Jared on the stream for that, because he's going to be in our league. That'll just be a chill kickback. It's totally, like, off topic, basically, but why not? I streamed it last year, and you guys can tell me how bad my draft picks are. We can get Eric in the stream because he's in it. If you want Eric, we can get Jerry because he's in it and just have like a little mini draft party.
Do like StreamYard for that or something.
Yeah, I can do it with I can do it easier with Skype now because I can window capture Skype now. So
Okay. Yeah.
I'll figure something out. But yeah. So anyway, hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Enjoy your week without us. We'll be back on the 30th. I will be tweeting and whatnot, and I will drop a schedule breakdown. If you want to follow me on Twitter and don't, at Tory Jones YT for me, at Hoopstock for Eric, at Blazers Uprise YT for the channel. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button. It helps us out. And we are out of here. Until next time. I feel like I'm saying goodbye for, like, forever. But it's only 1 week.
Hopefully this jinx us into a trade, though.
Yep. So until next time, have a good rest of your night. We will catch you again at the end of August. Until then, as always, peace out. Go Blazers.